frontline workers, that can pick vulnerable groups, and then kick out. But the issue of COVID vaccination, ain't that simple. There have been issues raised by others who suggest that it is not safe for anybody to take the vaccine, and they give a whole lot of reasons. If you say abrofo na omo ye vaccine na omo de ba na omo hye da omo pay ye omo ba omo pese ase share enunti na omo de aba. The question then to ask is, so omo wo bi o nti omo so anyway. And when you phone ba e be di ehun enkomo ni
Ebusia FM 96.5
ehun here anything na so eduru oso na ye busa se ye ma obia obeje anase wonje na then there was ugina so e dey take his decision no so obeje na wonje kra when you vote na say some komo e bebem Dr. Samuel Joseph has been working on some malaria vaccine. I'm sure this will be a very comfortable area for him on educating on whether or not to go for the vaccines and what the implications are. Again, Ghana Health Service and the Ministry of Health have given an indication. So, Mbenya can be vaccinated. But Yebebusa say, is it really necessary for everybody, every Tom, Dick, and Harry, to be vaccinated? And we are asking this because of the concept of herd immunity and the fact that once about 70 to 75% of the people have been vaccinated, then it is safe to assume that herd immunity will be achieved. They can't herd immunity. If a large number of the people are vaccinated and more protection, so to speak, from getting the virus or getting ill when they get the virus or getting severe illness when they get the virus, then the next thing can only the possibility of them transferring the virus from themselves to others. Ebeba form and it is a sadia in a sense ultimately immunize or vaccinate for 70 to 75% of the population. We should rest. I'm sure that Dr. Samuel Joseph Fusutrasia Obama and Adventure sa eniemano. You and no free there's a clash between religion, culture, values, and so on and so forth.
FM 96.5.
Gay rights, lesbian rights, and I'm referring to LGBTQ plus. I'm told say Q no, queer. Interesting as to what constitutes queer. I don't know, but none other than Yanity, sa group na ba baby on us here, on cry potembako. Na a lot of commentary. I generated a lot of commentary. Na enkofo bi adwen say obi a ebe hu na ote say bia say ebono. But that seems to be an extreme position to take. There are others who say that irrespective of the fact that one's religion, one's culture may be frowning on lesbianism, homosexuality, and then those so-called lesbians, homosexuals do have rights, and that there's a need for us to respect their rights as the case.
FM 96.5.
Whether or not our laws as a country indeed say lesbianism, homosexuality, and I'm happy that lawyer Nana Elsay will be here to speak to that issue. What our cultural values, norms, what our tradition says, what our religion tells us. The two major religions in Ghana, Christianity and Islam, both frown on homosexuality and lesbianism. And and also there are other lawyers like H. Kwesi Prempe who suggest that legally there probably would be no cause for anybody to be suggesting that unless I've quoted him wrongly. But that is the import of
Ebusia FM
and no, the
96.5.
second issue, and penny for better, ABD a home come. Then the third issue, the vetting process, ECOSO, our parliament. Yanwada, Asenso, Abujina Paul, Alan Chermatin, and others have had their turn. The Honorable Dan Butcher, whom I'm well pleased. And so, in the 10, penny for bar, you know, Mobidin Komafa, what their views are on the vetting process so far. And I know that we had the opportunity to talk about how Akumsin and Honsen Sema by on the specific issue of how Akumsin and go for easy issues about the fact that it be an brofonye and then the truth is this, that the fact that Ubintimin can brofo ye and that's one to mean cabro for crying SSB previous away.
Ebusia FM
I have always cited
96.5.
this example. Say Obetimi a Nobel laureate in physics from China, Ababi Drew Ghana. Now the Nat Nasin say only needing komo. Ewo brofo kasem. Na brofo bekano. Ebia insisi. It will in no way mean SSB previous or nim nyansa. And to the fact that an individual is not able to speak English language fluently, to say the Millicent Safo do bekano no, and Chese Nipano sebi producer or nim nyansa. Na and to say Kokoba said the basis for and call for agitation. Say was say ye permanent free ho and say omo peneso eme the minister. Ejina the fact say ne brofo a work anenya sebi producer ye te hai brofo yi oyi Millicent free mo e mudodo na no ye bre and
Ebusia FM 96.5.
minjin di se ye won susu se enam se yintimi nka brofo yie no ye nim nyansa dabi nemum se ekokoba se enkofo agitations ni based on the quality of answers she gave to the questions posed and her lack of demonstration of mastery or understanding of baby cry. Yadene koso on konkosom na. Eno die omo ka ne sa na nko omo enyina so omo beka. But at no point should anybody raise the issue about her inability to speak the Queen's English as fluently as some others would do it as a basis for her rejection. I think that it would be totally out of place, especially when Brofo Okanwa Semno enye ne kasa ni amete Brofo nye me kasa twi ene me kasa na twi na kra ye kasa no kra send
Ebusia FM
say
96.5.
untimi nka Brofo here. I don't think that should be a basis. Yet also mienu yampa say the English language is the official language of Ghana, and that at all official functions Brofo and Yeka. And intimi no be yadune say ekwan bi so no otekakra eboa, especially given the ruler yadema. But I don't think that no is the all in all or say untimi nka Brofo no to say the nkofo bi beka na yempam. And on the specific issue of how Akumsin, that is my view. And go for reason issues that efa madam for any minua won to me and then they brought for our work. They be as my can was if you we say super. They be a trim. Say I don't think that an assessment of won to me should be based on the brought for Timika and I won to me. Did they be ambusane say as some now all cano? Do you get the import of what he's saying?
Ebusia FM 96.5.
As long as you all cannot hear say, na se be seven previous and nyansa wo. So can brofu ye, so anka brofu ye. Send a grandma ye, send a grandma ye. I don't think that it should be an issue. Kojo Mafo at Nasi. About 7:22 program near Bresosem. We are also streaming live on Ebusia 965 FM or Facebook. Now, wait me the messages so about 0558163833. 0558163833. Mishia Papa B Enra. Na mini needing come on na as he had an issue about the way can who asem na we can who asem na maka say papa and go for ya omu do anim no omo no ya omu nya bren kan ho asem o go for do achi na ya kan ho asem it is go for ni do achi no mo kan ho asem pay no attention to them. I'm sure say yeti hey and go for kan ho asem da no kran ne say omu wo achi
Ebusia FM 96.5
kan ho asem oba kan so omu di ho konkonsa mo nko so ne koso ko anim aka kire say go for di anim enya ade a ombeka ho asem omu ni bre no mo de aka ho asem na anu ada na meka bodania kwesi ada wi bi papa sika ni bi ne nanfofo almost they were driving through the streets no mo koku hu bodani bi asabe se produce and be ma abrem ni siso papa ibolani anu osu na nanfo ebusan se di asem omo kan ya mkodru ba bi a ogina ye no ka tibo ne se ne be ma wa ne bi susu se sikani te se oba ko hu bodani bi na ade bi e wo bodani ni hu no n'ani bebre ne be ye se anke wo no ho a ko pe ngofo ka ho asem a pepi no ya na ye ani bre hu na ani bre ebi wo nso na sa ne ma no unya hu ye mpo nti se ba sa bi we
Ebusia FM 96.5
o nkoya ade na ngofo me ka ho asem na nka se wo ye ani bre sometimes ya na ye asusu na etwe sa ne ma no e de e ma ye banyasafo ebu ne be denkana asem kojo good morning.
Good morning.
Nani amati say.
Yehowa adumo.
Na wo say wo she tuntum. Eyi abefi.
So nim Maxwell. Yeah, nti.
Mediterranean.
Yes. And na watch that nti. Wow. Ohwa na jeze.
Wow.
Areho fi.
Wow.
Nyamete ase.
Same fa ne kranche. Min kai wo ya. Ebre bia. Akonfo. Tutu ball. Emsena
ehwa ifie ni fie na ne yo. Yeah.
Empire ne ebo se nyame emfa ne kra ensi.
Yes.
Akojo abusu afo te say.
Yehowa ne yen hwefo enu achi de. Unim ze wo nkwa.
Ebusia
And that's
FM
all.
96.5
Chen obi de.
That's right.
Dr. JC Fosu, good morning.
Good morning, Professor.
Nenema te say.
Professor, I pay the info body.
Now I was starting the professor of what to plan. But yo, have you noticed, sir? I said, yeah, didn't come what happen. But I said, go for started to blows, and it has to do with 2024 flag bearer and MPP. Why? What's going on?
Nothing really. The same things that happen every now and then. I think there is a straight contest between Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and Alan Kojo Martin. There may be other people who will join him, but I think there is a straight fight between Omumi. Nti, Omunya de Ompes Omoye. I mean, say partisan politics. Me can't say young Kojo who shira heaven. General Assassin, so into Omo do Omo Ajim. I'm looking for the ultimate.
The problem is sometimes independent.
David, now so be a young kind and how
Obi anyanka.
David. So far, be a yancy. Go for the Omo Atemu. Go for very personal about it. Go for my the fact that Senam go for Namunina, Zeomunya, King. And so we'll get there.
Never learn.
Oh, yeah. More partisan politics now. Edu baby aya na mo pese mo create a different school. Omo ewo mu no, they understand the language. So
it's everybia idiatem. Ejire ni akopa cho so na politics, political friends campaign talk.
Yes.
Ebedu baby we pa obi cha wan fanche.
But what is obi ato aba mo obi a in your estimation we say akwa we dey no conduct na nneema anya correct. Ntinka in my scope of things on you be as you consider no crap but near to abama no nti enye game plan.
I see
what you say enye game plan if you are there you would want to look at a couple of things and ntina no pay me ba me te say how akum sin asem na say na de na nkomo mu asan ko page aba ya Addai Mensah Mesrewa. Kotodwe gu fom. Mesrew pi. Mensada mensaye me pamo acho. On my Ghana, our official language is English.
Right.
That's our official language.
Right.
Into yes, yenina dagate asante mfante achim kasa ahoro na yewo. But our official language is English.
Right.
And mesremo.
So
Mesremo pa.
to point.
Obi ani ho ko school a odi twi and English as a subject. Obi ani ho odi twi maths as a subject.
Your point.
Obi ani ho a odi twi etro ni O level ni A level ni middle school living certificate. Ya de brofo na etro.
Okay.
Again, you talk about communication.
Right.
How do you communicate when you go to parliament? How do they communicate? In what language do they communicate? Is it not in the English language? When you have a document, what dear, only unia, monamaku school or anymore, and the kind of work you do that gets you to professorship and all of that. Research, ne niamana moyeno. Mo kind de akasem, ne mo ken kind de mo chro no. In what language? It's in the English language. And so please, obian can say, yemfa brofo. En hwa ye ho ne nka sa asomasi wote brofo pa ne nam so wote brofo pa nti no ye mfa no nkoye obi. But for crying out loud, if we are giving people in this country an opportunity to serve, na say omo problem with the speaking of the language which is an official language of this country, we should be concerned. We should not make it sound as if.
This will not be the first time Howard Kumsin, if given the nod, will be serving in that capacity as a minister. She has served previously as a minister.
That is the purpose. That is the purpose for which people are raising concerns. Say minister na ye say how
she worked as a minister. She may have had her flaws. The question to ask yourself: did we at any point in time have an issue with the kind of English language she spoke as a minister? If the issue has to do with her performance, a different ball game altogether.
I have a different orientation. Okay. But me per se, say ye fa obi wo Ghana. Na ye hu say on Tibrofo. If people raise the issue, it is a legitimate issue. Meba. Na how Kumsin. Kwan ye ofa so kan kasa e wo ho no. Se na eya meba, se na eya. Why is it an issue? Meba mesrao mepa cho yaw tie enu nti na ma kire omu aka kire o se yeti krom hai yen yeti hai obi an kan brofo because enye ye kasa in the contest ye betimi aka brofo a ho te but krom ha I don't know why you want to put her anope minim ne entokwa esi ene botaye esi wani so anope wode na to kruwa ni minim say o tan kruwa na ba wode na to kruwa bi membese mekoho but Martin say English language, it's an official language. Okay. What am I saying? Now, if you are hiring a service of somebody to represent this country, when he goes out there, he cannot speak any other language but English. Now, understanding the language you speak, this is an appointee. And this is an appointee who had said something in an interview. When he appeared before the committee, I bisa said, asem na okaya no say interview no na opesa wo kyeresen, because in terms of communication, the information that came out was that bad, and it dented government in terms of how much we want to put into an area. Or call before the appointments committee no say brofo enye ye mother tongue inti send ye na opese oka asem no enye saa na epie ye. If you are a Ghanaian, you must be concerned, because it's any art anyhow it is used. Meba.
Even professors of
I beg you. You see, the moment you go in that direction, then we'd have a problem.
Because we have had people
who
speak English flawlessly. And yet, how do they perform?
Listen, me pacho. And I want you to get
the issues are with a lack of understanding of the portfolio. Bingo.
Don't get it wrong. I would re-emphasize the point that language, as in speaking English, minimo obi akrom ha. Ote brofo ase, ote brofo. Tie. I'm not interested in. But my point is that let's not also make it sound as if say obi ye a Ghanaian official. That's on Tibrofwa.
Nobody has. Not. Nobody has.
So let me make the point.
Nobody has.
So let me make the point.
Nobody has.
So my point.
6.5.
Inti say obi were concerned that we have a government official on Tibrofwa. It is legitimate. Don't make it sound as if say obi peke noa. Why am from so? Onyam from so bia. I would not put premium on it. I may look at other things, but ma obia nka okrom ha se omo a tie na say ka se mo obia nka we are not saying se mo obia nka o kan but the point I agree the point I'm making is that e mo obia ma ne nkwaye se onte brofo no nya hwe onte brofo no e ye bibi
you got onte brofo cry this anyway
minye you ka se onte brofo a e legitimate because I would give you an example. So unim openi osafomafo.
Yes.
Okay. In the context of brofo ayekanu kurumha, can we say so ante brofo? Thank you. But this is a minister who went outside to go and sign a contract and came back and told us that kasa no onte ase. Neba. Kasa no na onte ase. And so you can find a minister who represents you outside. Wait. I would get there. You see? And come on. Ozafuma fudi una boy. Me na boy. You are taking away quality time. When I end, you would understand. The point I want to make.
This has nothing to do with quality time.
I don't know me argument.
Ose kasa no want. I'm say kasa ben ose train.
No. I am communicating. And so I want to communicate in a way. You should be looking at whether we are better. You should not be looking at said my point is this.
What's also kasa no ontiase. And now kasa brofo na onte brofo me say onte brofo. You say say e kasa ben no so ontiase no say twen.
Because me can't chiro. You should not be in a hurry. So only bra, I can agree, but my man come as a
bread minibi.
Okay.
And so kasa be 1 hour and son waka say e brofo na say.
Oh, say obey me watch it. Still I'm in kind. I still want to make the point.
It is because you need to tell us language kwa no so on tiase.
Addai Mensah, I'm not sure we are in a courtroom. And so I'll make the point for you to understand.
What was that Michelle Wake?
Okay. So now okosan contractor one tiase. If you get a minister.
Exactly, Pizarro.
I heard your question. I'll answer you. I'm sure you need to have a little patience to be able to appreciate it. Now,
exactly.
Any program because thank you. And I'm trying to ask one. It is not the way you want it, and so you won't get it your way.
But you don't have all the time.
Thank you. And so let me know how much is left, and I'll put it together for
1
you.
minute.
Thank you. And so if you find a minister who goes to sign a contract, kasa a contract, no one tiasia, it affects us as a country. That is the point we want to emphasize. And when Osafo had a contract that was in German, and he got it wrong, yes, he came to give us an excuse. But as a country, we had lost. If you find a minister who is given a contract in an English language, na minister and I'm so onte brofunti. when Timian can contract na antiase no or sign. No, I could sign the death warrant of this country. At that point, would anybody in this country come and tell us that na se muni se brofo nye kasa and onte brofo?
It is only those who do not have an idea about how governance works. And no mobile kase the contractor to him as a minister no ontiase no assign. It is not as if so call any the contract man on it if akron kwan et on the man no.
Osafoma for the no yeah.
And the fact that
Osafoma for the no
yeah. I don't even want to go there.
Na ye den.
Deutsch. And also on Tiasia, is that an issue?
And so as a minister,
on German.
Listen,
is that
as a
an
minister, when you are given a responsibility,
and the fact
you are a leader. When you sit in your office,
and the fact that somebody speaks fluent English does not in any way mean.
But on this program, we've said so.
Necessarily at the paper
No. Yeah.
In Brofor, even me any professors of English.
You see, unfortunately for you today, you are not listening to yourself. Unfortunately, you are not listening because that emphasis I have made that Brofo in itself any issue, but the offer minister. Na when the buy into catch no me nya no kwa na mpesa meka. But on the buy office here we no e be to ato akoye nim.
Sure that minimum no eti hey crown. See janko for so more access.
I have emphasized that
we may not even get a pass mark.
I have said that to you. And so that is the point that is moot. I have made that point to you.
Nobody
says so be because as a country
Obianka say obi Brofo and but we have had professors of English mess up in ministries.
Who's been given a responsibility?
Brofo no me say minimum me assess edukura ye Brofo no anka kra.
Everybody has said so. The point is that when people appear before you and you are assessing them and you are giving them promotional interviews, when they come to you and they say so I'm take from country you
FM 96.5.
So let's not create an
so what is the point? Say nipa for na all can mistakes wom. So what? But it is not our mother tongue. Bizarro, let's hear you.
Would be part of the assessment in this country. We can't have a minister who is not fluent in the language.
Fluency has never been a way of assessing the competence of a minister. It has never been. This same person has worked as a minister. And when she worked as a minister, what is it? Because I know Minister because until Brofo. When has the English language ever become an issue? Is that
Mami Cheo T4 no pay.
Pamoji also.
Na minchia adophobia omo etiopa. Se mu ba kon ye me bra ba kon wo Belgium. Friend Alfred Bafo wa on ye na ma. Se amika se omo tie odin.
Otchere FM 96.5
Facebook. Se o kai Cynthia.
Yeah.
On so tie.
Wow.
O se mfa on krama.
Me dance. There that's so tie.
Suti.
Cynthia na no na o kan. Cynthia da wase nyamisha. O mi
and I make cancel on cost one here, sir.
The issue of how I comes in vis-a-vis the appearance at the interview prior to her appointment. We heard it in 2 ways. Meaning for our more preppy or more drain say Nani Brofo no a touchmano. Ever agreeing to some extent, but not totally, especially so when we have not considered her output. We know anybody agreeing. Say, it will be myself on ya. And prepino, and if a key performance indicators, what you call the KPIs.
96.5.
And in how comes in the time that she was given the job to do in the previous government. Are you going to say? Her key performance indicators, no. The first one year very fluent in English, you know, affecting it totally. I think I no mistake her. Yeah, Ghana in them in Tim Koyanim. Tim Preppy, you know, where the focus school, so Munko there. You share our ability to chew and pour. Kwesa no omo creative ability no is also lost. And you know, I wouldn't want us to waste too much time on this our conversation issue. So Timi Club of Noon Timing can and when you must say, but a bit more Jumano. That is what you must look at. After her interview, we were making a lot of noise, and I was not enthused about some of her responses on the issue of the definition about hot fish farming was Abia and impressive. 6.5. Okasara am no ya adwen. But Ekoba said because na ontimi Cambro funu ye nti ontimi adwuma no dia. And omonsa review.
Once upon a time, we had a deputy regional minister. Where cry no ante. Your friend Anima Wilson. Where no ante. She was a deputy regional minister.
So I was saying the sebi. One more mundim Cambro funu sebi. Adwen wom trimana. Hwaya nkasa your former KMA boss. Akwesi Ajimaya onyane baby ko nyame fa no crancy. Ebia in terms of his ability to speak. So Cambro mu da hopa ebia that was a challenge. But what in Ajima Tunsen so he was one of the best KMA bosses Kumasi ever had.
You know, he's arguably the best.
Yes. And you know some of these arguments bitia na hame. Say the competence in if you say Otchere there, then we have reason to complain. But if you are going to reject her solely on the basis of her ability to speak the Queen's language fluently, then I have a challenge.
6.5.
Or examined me when I was in final year medical school. He examined me. I love him as a physician. But only the interesting thing.
No.
The interesting thing, they say, a lot of Ghanaians were not happy with the kind of performance he put up in the ministry.
Correct.
Until you brought for anyway, yeah, COVID-19 vaccine. Yes, Monday, no Tuesday. President Beche the first vaccination. There are lots of people who are suggesting that. Are we sure that it is safe and that man be queen there and then kick home? From where you sit, I know you are working on some malaria vaccine, and then so you have a very good understanding of some of these things. Is it safe for anyone to go get that vaccine?
Yo, Dr. Addai Mensah, Professor Addai Mensah.
Yes.
Professor, ni na fomo, ni na fomo binti no. COVID-19. Professor, about the issue of the COVID vaccine, be pese and pe benyamre bibri na achechire mu. San say onim be adwin say COVID-19 pandemic by ya try say education.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, onim be start adwin say enko ye the way si pe no. Enti na COVID-19 vaccine by npa bibri ebo ho ekasa ho bebre ya mpenifo so benya wana yare o yare na emma obi ntim ko adwuma a wo so ye
Ebusia FM 96.5
ndi adwane to table so indi se yare bi beba na be ma wiase nyina aka butu a na ya niema ha adwen yo kromo ha sei e na March 12 inipa mienu omo fly into Ghana no mo air positive for COVID-19. You try, I say, you control. But as we speak now, currently, globally, there are about 114 million people who are tested positive globally. Out of this, 2.5 of them have died. You heard the Ghanaian contest. Ghana, as we speak now, 82,000 people, 586 have so far tested positive. Unfortunately, 592 of them survive. Yeah, last week, there is a difference between testing positive for COVID-19 and developing COVID-19.
96.5.
You can test positive for the virus that causes COVID-19, that is the SARS-CoV-2 virus. The Chinese say virus, you can say you pick a sample, you bit more pick the RNA of the virus. PCR be test positive. But ABR now when develop your no because we could be asymptomatic and we're not showing symptoms and we could recover on your immunity. In the education, you're taking in perspective of testing positive and getting the disease.
Okay.
Vaccines in Yadia are new in a Ghanaian contest. I'm just a cramponi at 30 say, oh, Mamia or Okako on the bar, way in Panier. Since 1974, and a vaccines was introduced in the world. And of course, the WHO now, at this idea, no, my dream when they say, Yaribi or ha, a preventable, see a one crop for Pania. Ombitima gaining some immunity.
Otchere FM 96.5.
And with me, I infected all right. With the Moana and money pan yaren, but yaren to me and develop for Nippon. In 1994, in 1978, in a Ghana Health Service and Minister of Health, I had up to you. No man deem EPI. EPI near expanded program of immunization. Prof. Addai Mensah, almost 30 years no. Nay, yaren si apre. But as we speak now, the baby can be do miensa. Into so far your polio vaccine, your yellow fever, your diphtheria, your whooping cough, your tetanus, tuberculosis, and the Kahuna muses. And now what they are na program a mini a project a mini Professor Ellis, Provice Chancellor of K University, and some other professors, UCC and UHAS. Yeah, face introduction of RTS malaria masquerade vaccine. I don't know. I face introduction because I go through all the phases.
Otchere FM 96.5.
Vaccine sankasa no. And I say we in Kwalapanye no. Eje nkwa nkunipa. Now, it's there na ye ka say vaccine bi e safe. We come back see the AstraZeneca vaccines that have been given to Ghana. Professor, say ka say vaccines be safer. And as I say vaccines, because a vaccination, one, it must satisfy 3 different conditions.
Okay.
It must be safe. Safety, they say the one nipa, ni kwase kunipa. It must be quality. Also, ye papa so. And 3, it must be efficacious. And also, juma so dinu. Also, timidi. And the vaccines they are procure into Ghana. Any other vaccines before vaccine be enter into population, go through some phases of trials. You divide into me, your pre-clinical trials and then the clinical trials.
Right.
Pre-clinical trials, no, it will 2 sections. The other kind,
Otchere FM
you have culture cell. Now say you build beer cell, our lab. But before you build beer cell or lab, now the vaccine, no, our no. Now later you're exposing it to the virus. In this case, SARS-CoV-2 virus. Say. Cell no to me prove efficient by way of its efficacy. Then you move to the clinical, pre-clinical phase 2. Right. So your clinical and pre-clinical and you know, back a lab. If we are then we introduce the same vaccine into laboratory animals. Okay. Laboratory animals are tired of we are in cra, adankomo, in Chaboania. You divide it into 3 different groups. Fancy be a safer than could be 100. It be a 30. Now say first 90, 30. The other kind, you know. You better kind I introduce one to the SARS-CoV-2 virus.
FM
96.5. The more normal saline. Third category, more okay. Now you expose them to the virus. You monitor them. Monitor them. You say. In Krana, and I said, Mona, ye more Sabas and we know, Omuyana. It is only when Omubian and you move into clinical trials. So after these 2 sessions, you know, you move into clinical trials. Clinical trials, you know, 5 different phases.
Niggas answering clinical trials, near whom say
it's safe.
It's safe.
It's highly effective.
Right.
Clinical trials in your 5 phases. Your phase 0, phase 1. Phase 2, phase 3, and phase 4. 5 different phases.
Now 5 different anyway. Also, can we say 5 different phases? Ye and sign a drone. They are about Montiam and go fast at you see now.
Okay.
answer.
Into phase 0 no, you penny pa not more than 15.
Ebusia FM
Not more than 15. No,
96.5.
the same way or yeah, one. Near expose to the virus. But this time round, no, your team of experts are almost follow up constantly. Say in case a baby bunny see pet no maswano. Until after a period of time, no, say nipa doing a train and I said, do me. Obiang, you the vaccine no effective. You the quality no was sure. And Sunny Ako phase 1. Yeah, phase 1, we are looking at the nipa between 20 and 80. The same process. And Sunny Ako phase 2. Phase 2, no, yes, several hundreds of people. Jempanzi from 200 to 800. Phase 3. Phase 3, a nipa 3,000. Phase 4, about 33,000. And I am happy to say, COVID vaccine now, Ministry of Health, any Ghana Health Service, to the government. They are back Ghana, CCI, Baba Onklofone. They have gone through all these phases.
Ebusia FM
Expose them to the vaccines, no. Be anywhere who ye. Now, impose a conference near you. Then the Food and Drug Board of the country where the vaccine was produced must also certify.
Food and Drugs
Authority. In Ghana perspective, no. Before I no, Food and Drug Authority, or must certify, who say drugs no, vaccines no, is safe. Vaccines banner can was me. Your facility be from covers. Covers no, omo and they say pandemic be about. Almost how I'm busy as well. No, in this era, no, almost set up 3 parties. There was CEPI, a coalition of epidemic preparedness innovations, and there was Gavi, Global Alliance for Vaccine Initiative. No, immunization. 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 Into me and Sano Kabum. Main task is one. Also, coordinating all information. Say the beya me up interventions a control the COVID-19 virus.
Okay.
And you then also ensure say institution be your capacity to produce these vaccines on support them. Then they also ensure say vaccines be able produce be no. Also yes safe. Also yes effective. Also of high quality. And finally, also must ensure say before I give you out vaccines, no, institutional, vaccines no more. In the case of Ghana, the vaccines about vulnerable group. More here vaccines, no, prioritize among.
The Global Alliance for Vaccines and Immunization.
Yes. Into the Otchere, and even on Tuesday, vaccines in the buy, no, a press conference.
Ebusia FM 96.5.
Obin koshe kukua mu. And Tom vaccine, no, but you need to have a vaccine nobody. Send your winter being.
Did you think that fanfare was necessary?
It was necessary because COVAX has suggested that. Okay. Once you become a member of the COVAX, you know, most agreement they are obliged to give you vaccine for 20% of your population.
Okay.
It means now is 600,000. 600,000, you know, represent the 20% of our population. And
so
carry the
30 million.
Yes. And carry the Now, what vaccines are we talking about here? Yeah, we are talking about 2 different vaccines. Of course, it's a free February 2021. I think specifically 18 of February. There have been over 200 vaccines. Out of 200 vaccines, 20 and still I go through the clinical phase of trial. And COVAX was selected 7. 7 they include the one from Pfizer,
96.5,
the one by Moderna, all from US, and Oxford, AstraZeneca, free UK, but of course, I'm also subletted contract to an Indian company. I will produce serum on large basis. Then we have one from Belgium, that is Janssen. So categories of vaccines according to COVAX facility, in their mind's eye, in terms of efficacy, quality, and efficacy, quality, and its ability to do what it has to do, it satisfies all these conditions. Then again, is it cheap? availability. See, in here large dose in a short time, are they able to deliver it? All of them are certified the condition. But of course, these two now Ghana for food say a bit to me. Now people have concern about the vaccine. Maybe who they unim, but for the sake of a tear for the the way a vaccine here, Juma.
FM 96.5.
COVID-19 virus, your friend SARS-CoV-2 virus. Say, vaccine bia. This how Juma. So people were and I say okasa. Na say virus bebre won minima. Virus no shente so kitingeti a friend of respiratory droplet. Na wa homi akomo. Homi ko mu a quickly na virus na settle. Oh, wahrawa nchen. You lower respiratory tract. In the whole by viral studies no virus be answer na virus jo betima run pemu no. Ohia substance to attach. In SARS-CoV-2 virus, almost depending on angiosperm coenzyme 2, what you call the ACE2.
Angiotensin converting enzyme 2.
Yes, angiotensin converting enzyme 2, yes. So this ACT2, if they have been secreted, virus now attaching home to your cells, then they penetrate omurium. Omurium is a virus now, and also the a coin be first one obeti me a multiply na so obeti me nyini into raw cells anymore. Then they would unquell or use the protein coat or shed the protein coat ni na
I just say what dey kata ne ho no na mo friend protein coat no
and your friend protein
coat use our protein coat na go ho ready to fight into oyiya now what transcribing what translating ni na ne say obeka che wo RNA ni say RNA oh yeah protein synthesis adwuma na wo ye ni jai the person who produces SARS-CoV-2 virus bebre no command there sa biosynthetic process no they are more pen as say cells ni ebe ya
to cells no produce bebre then they kill the cells no more cells no
omutimo
no more releasing to the bloodstream so releasing to the bloodstream so unim say ye moja mu no nyama me bebre bo nyama me pa na di mu pa red cells and white cells red cells really dey the juma ya ni say oxygen e call ye nsa ni tuma peje ye nsa ye nine etimi peje nine esisi ni etimi ato ye pa ye kon de etimi atwe ni na
esisi ni etimi
say more energy
no they are there
what the two pa and watching your white cells white cells do na your body defense mechanisms no e wo be say TFO tie ni ye pa in the white cells the moment the blood be release the first people to be aroused macrophages minim ni kwi but macrophages do understand
emojemu soldier for no back no
the macrophages in the macrophages no try say omo me COVID-19 virus no but in prep no mtimi mini nyina poor kakra ewom IFN antigen in antigen no will trigger antibodies so there is a T lymphocyte and a B lymphocyte
and net say generally say nipa ankasa no say wo ho no say ade bia frabontin raw system no a enam say foreign and into the body ni say body tries to form antibodies that will fight against that foreign substance na impempi ya body ni hwehwe ade bi e wo ade kro na ewura omu no into a particular spot and a particular portion of that foreign ade na ewura omu in this case virus no the same as the spike protein now body na targeting no now form antibodies that are directed against that spike protein. Yes sir,
that is correct,
right?
But it's in a sense COVID-19 virus no ni ho bibi kakra dinti e che ansana defense mechanism no etima mobilize enough to deal with it. The more so our immune system no e wo form no and e che pa and before we develop immune system now we fight against no na bia bonia was a virus no e di wo mogya mu no ayawi se be kun ekun. Now, what this new vaccine is doing is that vaccine no yefa normal cold virus many panyare. Now you the portions of the SARS-CoV-2 protein. The be kun SARS-CoV-2 no. Say I be kuni de untimi hanipa. Near the protein no a share cold virus nim.
And you pone SARS-CoV-2 na
awu no.
Ye kuno sa COVID virus na ye kuno no. Ye pone ne ho baabi
kakra
near the akwa sa virus na e cause normal common cold no
promo code, yes. Yeah, what it means is that body no say go through all the process of the can you know, never do more anymore. It sounds there. Vaccine no, am I anything? Saving at all, say even 21 days, cramp and son or body net may develop immune system. We are safe. The here is a
developing immune response.
Immune response. The here is a body no develop immune response. That is the most important thing. So to me develop idea, and yeah, in the near future, so number baby, now say we are infected. Onyare. So before I start to make change the difference between getting infected and getting the disease. Into all this talk about large number of people getting infected, to me any news. Dear who ye, a saying or develop symptoms or capable of transmitting the disease to people, yes, one person to the other. So in that sense, you know, Becca say, vaccines in the abano, just one of the interventions.
Okay.
In the epidemiological studies, if there is a pandemic, we are looking at the disease in the community. Never been able to go you bit break the chain of transmission. The chain of transmission, I'm say SARS-CoV-2 virus. Now there pepper and say a woman energy we are before obe free moon or person obe raw, but also we are susceptible hosts. Susceptible hosts will be a immune system no form.
It should have an environment a bit more thriving.
Engineer say if we move. That's a when you're susceptible host. Before I be free so I call mono because when you're susceptible host, you know, ubeti me a block infection, no, get into the third person. Introducing intervention, you are trying to reduce the rate of new infections, what you call the R naught. Instead of a bit deal with the virus. So over here, during the lockdown, you remove restrictions, you know. You can say you share face mask. You use alcohol-based sanitizers. Now you make sure as much as possible physical distancing.
Right.
It's like I say you need your immune system you need interventions. Vaccines now they are one of the interventions.
Now okay, say vaccines here let's say also me Otchere Addai Mensah
Debbie.
Now that social distancing me more protection.
Debbie, come on,
Debbie.
Because next war panena we immunity no.
Because me already as me more panel be prevent me from getting the disease.
You see,
am go panel we are me say ohoro me say. Me say o jira na me jira.
Yes war panena check akra nsa na we develop the immunity. Remember already your immunity dada. Panena is only boosting the immunity. Into na wa hwe panena you mienu. We can go back after about 21 days, not less than 1 month. Also, another one. And you booster dose. Booster dose, you know, enhance. And I say a share of difference. Kena. In so, what we want, Oma vaccine by Oma will be US in the UK, Nino. We are still a show face mask. Because ABR, you know, now, friends say antibodies now here to protect you from future infection. I'm building you, but must say be.
Okay. And then the man who here said, I was said, it's our COVID-19 protocols. Why would anybody not want to have this vaccine? Are there any sides, adverse effects? A woman here, a bit more be arguing, say, and says, oh, what's happening?
Yo, me that's the bien in the adverse effect. But the Becca, as you say, COVID vaccine and all vaccines, or much for the adverse effects, they are very minimal. And preppy, you know, ABR in some group of people, no, ABR, Tiboya Kakra,
mild fever,
Humbesh Kakra, but you know, and check Neko. Say, Bassa, whom yes, share. Nature say, body no build antibodies. That's the process. No paracetamol. Who better? And then prepping is so na baby I be pan no e ho be ye kokko kakra but eno so enche neko but say odi sa side effect here adverse making e compare say obe share no face mask for extended period especially lecture room. You have to speak to about 200 students for 2 hours. the discomfort I will be from face wearing this face mask for 2 hours. And even when you are on a ventilator, and that's how severe forms of the disease, a coma, not just a adverse effect, you know, any comparable.
And there's another meme, Omo mema after seeing the transi.
And this
is so no, and they say, who yashikakra and now Tio Yakaka now what tower. And then just say, oh, I see.
And I'm prepared to any public braces rope on ye. But say we be war under bondage for 1 year. Should the COVID-19 aye. We me sure say the of last year one call butchery. Uzu tatu kwa pa. Nyema kabonya fra kan tumu na.
This your best sponsor me.
O sa o. Nkofo nduma ye say. Nkofo elusu omo. Minimum you have lost colleagues in the university.
Yeah.
Can you COVID come? His Excellency former President J.J. Rawlings. Can you COVID give a cotiasi? It is a nyankopa adom na se yenya intervention bi a eboa yema yetimi etu ade na se a I should think say among for nsa wo madwen na omu konko.
What's your friend's position on Ghana Health Service and as the Ministry of Health? Elmo Butaya Omo was everybody be vaccinated.
In terms of health economics, they can do good thing, and I'll tell you why. You need to say COVID-19, you know, any depending on it, me, my severe form of the disease. Of course, we can all be infected. Even Korea most school and cramp, no bit my infected. But Sabakaya, yeah, because I'm with the cancer, angiotensin coenzyme 2 once them. Good. This enzyme, the ability for this enzyme to produce is a bit diminished. It won't produce below 40, although they will test positive, but none of them will die. If they may die, then probably it be a other cause. And it be a COVID-19, but ordinarily,
because they lack the receptor now.
Yes.
I was a virus.
Attach
it to gain
entry into the cell.
No,
yes.
And I say down regulated.
In the almost tested positive. Say them take a kind. Your first sample minimum PCR tested positive. But the following time, they are unlikely to develop into the disease.
Okay.
And you know, you have a proportion of this category of people
in the society.
Ghana Statistical Service report. As of the 2010 census, almost populated, are looking at about 37% of these being below the age of 14 years.
Okay.
About 62%, and only outside this bracket. Or extrapolated by the 30 million population estimating owner, we are looking at about 18.8 million.
FM 96.5.
That's about the farthest we should go.
The farthest we should go. And even if they even want to also be sure, say, and you'll be being here 2 doses now. Commit to my antibody test. Say antibody test, no. Say why you're exposed that. Who develop symptoms? When develop symptoms, still our antibodies will be in your system.
Tell me, catch you. Say, no, that me could check you. Say, we were COVID antibodies about out negative. Now, I say, how me?
What's it how?
What's it how? Minya exposed.
I say how because
and you say me person minya.
No, say
yeah, really be bad. I was hoping say. Minya be mama you know. Exactly, Kojo.
And your mama minya be no. Almost some level of immunity, but then you're full. And the Ghana service with me, I this antibody test. Nkofo a omanya bi na say omaye exposure omunima. Some of them with mama just one shot per account on the immune system.
But say also your cost benefit analysis.
But the same cost benefit analysis. Ebia COVID-19 vaccine 2 doses $40. Oh yeah, antibody analysis but we have cost about $30. So what is the point in wasting money using people to map up time and all that? And it's not about my US, I'm vaccinated to be probably that is how they arrive.
US, are they vaccinating everybody?
Oh, everybody. That is there. Everybody. So yeah, and I pay a foot I'm a tea for the say. What about the chance to take the vaccine? Take it immediately.
Okay.
Me I'm a TA. Say the baby see anymore. One here program cramp no. You and you because meaning the benefits that it has.
I see.
Vaccine no. Professor Addai Mensah.
Yes, sir.
Is safe. In Kunipa. A quality. Say if person you free are any mudia. This is our best shot.
Okay.
Young Koswa supporting Ghana Health Service. Any Minister of Health. Na mwebia yibitimi as media people. Yebe Koswa educating growth. Ya omo panie na nyom mfunzo. Omo ntiase. Ntiase me no mienu wo about vaccines no. Omo ni bi. Na o ba be won vaccine. Onim zasboni abetime nya free vaccine. Onim say ka o share face mask no ro ni za kwasa na kwa na mona mebo.
And the videos are HS we obi and twa hwe and nkeka so what ya
if that woman was later interviewed.
Okay.
And one can say onu anka no allergic to pain.
Oh, okay.
Or reactive to pain. Anytime bia na obey exposed to a certain pressure of pain, she blacks out.
Oh, I see.
Tim na tell us no nam kwana said mistakenly born of small team black it out.
Could you also the mood?
Aye. Especially in left, you know. In this we are thinking is there. As she said, the pain of the needle.
I don't know.
And the man black out, and it has nothing to do because all the clinical trials we conducted, none of them have reported any case of mortality.
Okay. Dr. Samuel Jesse Fosu, microbiologist and a senior lecturer at University of Energy and Natural Resources. On my invaluable exposition into the virus, the COVID-19 vaccine. They say na free branda president edi kan woni dia na ye aka no so ojo na me busa Pizarro said fanfare no because I thought that it was unnecessary. Say yenya first batch of the friends saying COVID vaccines. I didn't think that na sa fanfare no here, but he seems to be suggesting say himself COVAX for no
It was a condition.
Edeka no
Otchere FM 96.5.
And what's your impression about this vaccine being and today? See why you baby jam for more say be obewo.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Me no nanti ye nya me nya sure say wo pɛ me bɔne. Nti for you to even
and pen na be say wo gumbe.
Oh. Say about him say vaccine naba. Na me ntwɛn so a. Na ye wo mpɛ me ye.
So
Unim edum pempen so bi a we need to understand yente ase say ye bibi e wo ho dadaada ana ye vaccinate obi afi na abawi ase nti ye yete ye vaccinate ye omo e vaccinate ye no omo ye Ghana for yeah, me can't Ghana for in the contest that not omo aye nhwehwemu wo Ghana ha aduro na ye yes ane ma ni nyina it is abre no ano ye vaccinate ye no ni ye beku yen
I get you.
It's the bia ye can vaccination here the mofra na ade ne kwa ya ye nimzi ye koku omo
na me busa Jesse for answer. Pizarro.
Yeah.
Vaccines na omo de Ghana. And where be near the war UK US for any and go for.
Yes, meaning say US here Pfizer any Moderna. And meaning say UK so AstraZeneca because of course Oxford A from UK.
And I hear there no.
Then you AstraZeneca.
And so me jidi say ni say santi ase ne ba but yeah enkoma modina no pay mera aho say ye your man ase ye nim ne ye ko oh ene ma no be ya pa no pay o efi say enkoma Jesse Fosu Samuel Pizarro edinu wa he wunyi ni se eno ne nkomo a esese nka afini yedi What you say? Okay. Nti say MPP yemu bi ka say government communication a problem nkofo nti ase no.
Because
let me
take the wind out of your sail. And you don't know what's going to say.
Whoa. Nti ubisa ho say one and I've always taken a position say abiding on this COVID-19 I would always want to be with President Akufo-Addo kwanya ofa so eye hu adwuma any ade. At a point there was a departure, but ni nyina ye sika and anonymary hosem no as on mine nkofo ye interested in how they can make money out of situation than say ye boa ye na ye kyerɛkyerɛ ye na ye te nneɛma ase na obia betimi aye de ese so ye bisa ho say Ghana Health Service men ka say omunye hwe but adwuma ben pa na ese sen ka Ghana Health Service
to herald
and son ya be do not even the vaccines even yare ehun de urubo
ojo won hwe na me de nka me ya fan say sabre no kra ande ya twagu
unfortunately no
abedru
enam say ya nye de ss ye nti no na ama ya bedu ba bia ya bedu because last week when oye analysis about mofrane there no me bisa me ho say santi ase no a wama ye nya no say am passa sanetia the noise about nkolani kusku asembesi nkolani yesi asembesi nkolani yesi asembesi no aye nyina asoman including Ghana Health Service for nyina ne Ministry of Health and Information Ministry, Education Ministry nyina ma ye niam na ye no was it necessary?
We asked, sir, how many of these children and one the infection, 2 severe disease, 3 died. And if out of a certain number of infections within our age bracket, we didn't have a basis.
Yes, but why would we not have a basis? Because nimdia na esese ye nyina ye nya se oman no obia ma ye nya obia ni ho tu yemfo e kire hen de esese obia ye piecemeal kakra nti de bia no obia wonte ase bi even the wearing of masks and then a slang of one. And who expect some kofo we num de esese ngobo nyante ase no mo hye but ubedu baby no bia nhye and as a foreigner because on kwa na wo hye
ozo mask wo hye no dodo utimi hume
he ne hwehwe animu as on kwa na yes but eye adisua ene nkyerɛkyerɛ a esese ye nya so oman a ye nya no eno na de ya bedum pempenso a ya bedi na say ya man krofo anhu a when the Bible talks about for lack of knowledge my people perish eno no obia de bibia be wura mu bi. Why do people now say that even at age 6 as I say sex ho asem e kire wo ma o ti ase aden na say o kire wo ma sa na ma no because nkofo realize say one kire ne ntam a obi be kire kire no nti afi oba no no wo ka ne akoni tirim ni nti no de wo ka na eye no ontie e ho ne ya bedu yi o. And so social media impact a enya we in society no so no ama traditional media no eso man fa so but yen ya kanifo no esese omo ahu dadaada na nko omo use social media platforms no e dey education no a esese obi anya no because enen komo ayedi across the globe. And you're limited to frequency ni baby edu because the new media is now sending us across the globe.
Right. I mean, we have people listening from Turkey, Cote d'Ivoire,
around and
everywhere.
Say, you use our channels, no, and yeah, education, no. And ka obi ntina baby nsend video bi ma no nka say, see, me, there are two things. Vaccine, say yes, there's a marketing arrangement and communication arrangement to it because obi na aye, and he needs to promote that. And more medical field, say there are a lot of promotion that goes into a new product. At the same time, there's another body who feels that sa adewe ekwa yenso ye boka, and so they can also put together a communication arrangement to destroy the product, set the product in a negative sense. Omo ehwe ade no omo hwe no ada ade so no, do they know that? And you would get a credible person if you today sits on a platform and put out information from the background you have that people know. Unim say mkofo be ka say wasem na kan na no kre. Okay. So and now no so can be before. If the two of you had a disagreement, you know the confusion would have created. Confusion. But that is what is happening because obia interest no. A vaccine chrono. Ya won kofo ma vaccine ni bi. An kofo fi sem faso omunya wo so no enye. Ana a dose dodo nti ese omo discredited ya omo ye no. But yeah, yenim. And no, yes, and no near this yandea. Nka Ghana Health Service with support from government. I channel a lot of our resources in doing that education. In Tinka Ubia television. And I also any social media platform so the first thing you hear when you have opened it is the education.
And lace with the experts or people who are well versed in the subject matter. You have a clear university. You know.
But on the starting me catch say Assembly Bakrum ha. The first interest is how much money people accumulate. Ebola say biama ha. Bankofo si abrosan hu. I see. Kofo nyaska wo Ebola ho. Yet ebiama kurum ha.
Gojo uwe nyina so there.
Ombeka say akwa obamana kansem. Yeah, what you say? And so your mindset say ade bia ba ese say obi nya sika. Odi nipa bebre be ka ho a sika obenya asimfaso no. Ebe so betinti no. Na wagye ade na kenten so. Ono yenya yebetimi aye, yenya yebetimi aye, yenya yebetimi aye no. Ebe wi ase no na omo anye hwe. But enne tradition dia ode amaye. Last week he did the same thing.
So this program will always be beneficial whether politics or not. What an education on vaccine this morning.
What you say? And enema we nom na esese aban egibre eye. Until Omukama manone say ye de aduru ibeche vaccine ye de beche. The understanding was that yakoto.
And so we use the word procure. Procure.
What you say? What you say? But yow. And say she and now what you make an answer. Say ye de beche say yakoto ye abedu. But here say credibility. As I say, you catch there and say, to say the number can say a requirement to say, as I say, a setting outdooring. And to say, your boy, a man, yes, outdooring, no, who did it. And freeing. And now, actually, day betchain. A person, we are seeing who say, I'm almost part, play in fighting COVID-19 and no. Why not ever transfer and so I don't know whether political advantage and affecting in decision making.
No, but this obviously would have been an advantage, not a disadvantage.
Yes, but you see, that is why I say that two are buying for in terms of the communication. They may have to look at it again because they say a man buying. You're nearby, but we have it.
But
that's not a bad one. That's not a bad one. But for those who don't understand, I'm sure it is because of the relationship I have with you. It is because of the relationship I'm in a war. It's your denya some know na namu. And so yeah, me feel say encourage yen social responsibility any nti anopai de yenuen aye. I'm sure that ebeboa. I'm sure other areas nkofo ye Kwame Sapon esi edu obi tuaneka.
Oh.
Obi tuaneka. But you see a social responsibility.
He's been through a lot. Even in trying to educate. Nkofo chinase.
Na sa no pay. Ona obetu ye fo say. Di odi wanim no. Di odi wanim ne de. On kan ho asem. Di odi wachi no.
No crapa.
What I say? And so was our orientation, you know, say, enye de nkofo kan. But the meye etimi de aboa.
And when it matters most, he's called.
Na say yaw obi anim ne obetimi aye. Ye pon a enkomo bi wo ha yebedi and the person asks that be no nka ho asem. I'm sure there are a number of people, but onim say asumasi ena ebia we obetimi aye ho bibi nti ene ne nkasa. Se enkwala ehun ba asem a okra obe fresh rebo. But so a medical doctor.
Yeah.
Exactly. That is the point. At every point, even within the profession. Yes. And you know, sir, in the course I'm moving. We are unexpected in the area. There are signs of it. About where they say, oh, there be Pizarro, Sumesi. That is how it goes. And unti abain anyone would to abain for. Empe kwanya ye be faso a. Ye betimi a kire. Na nkofo ate niyama ase. Na nkofo ahu se vaccine na eba no. Unya kwanya tumirika ko hia no na je wo de. De bia and mamen kan ho ya. You say 2. Yes sir. 2 shots. Yes, Rama. So we'll be born a first shot to ya. Mama second shot on cover problem. Or how are you walk as on Maya and my home quite man for cancer and no.
Over here, no be a started a propaganda buffet. That's what you
Now, yaw, the merchant say, after ya back on every. Yes, it was so me over what second one. After I say, am I? The air shared him say everybody do no do ye. And also the problems eba. And so near ye here says ye sika send a bit me ato. A tar a you 2 for biana. Inti ebia ye sika and prim ya a bit me ato. Ubia 2 no a bit me ato de a befe nipa 10 million. Or many name say and no. And I bet me I am prim ya so that a bar ye nim se nipa 10 million it will be a 2 short na ezu nya no then sabeka the second batch no e be a mid year and no nso ye bet me aye e ho nhihye ye wo ho saa no obi etufu a obetimi aka se oh ene aban ye mpe kwan we ne mfa second group ne de no nso mrantem ye betimi akogi loan ye betimi aye say then as a nation ye nyina ye di nkomo no but say ye ni no saa
we had enough conversation as a people in respect of COVID-19 vaccine.
I'm sure if we had we would have spent time discussing something else, but last week nkomo odi no ha. And then come out the other come. One enya kwenya etie would be far better ahead in terms of sa enkomo we. Echen wo mo a omuntie ye wo sa enkomo we. O otimate. And no na ema me ka say we should share when condom education, AIDS education, eba wo man we. Look at the way we were doing it. Y2K. Yeah. Look at how world over Oh yeah, oh press button when a show him. Also yes na a show him. Also yes na a show him. That is the driver. What I said, that is the driver. You can walk around town. Any billboard or anything. And yes, so piercing there's something we need to deal with.
I'm so happy for your education on vaccination. I'm happy again because you can read and understand good English.
The visa would say no. What can you baby? How can one? Me catch a Millicent say. Said you nimo. Any send you see no year, Juman. A dean be our born or ha no pay. Say o companies ni mu ba akokra. Say any pan or basse or pay Juma. No, the job boss. I said you sit here now. What happened? No. Sometimes and now only me. The other do my mom said, now go for it. Not the other ones on me. And so I'm grateful that Minya Kwenya Nkofwa omo a certain knowledge. Nti omo boa. And no nema nkofo frefre yen. Right. Because obi nim say penina mo ne betra ho na mo ne asem bi o kan no et say by virtue of the omo be kanti no now ne no edi ho nkomo ye pon American bibia kire no yesterday last week o kan ade bi that part of it I was not doing right o kan wie ye no now what you I've added that to niema me nti akwanya bia en mama menka ewo program is so say I appreciate the fact that a lot of you are not into our media space right. But mojebre ebetna ha eboa yen emma at no cost you educate us because I'm sure that say the premium in terms of sika say ye de mamo say mujai mo adwuma amoye ebeba betna ha abeboa yen we may not be able to pay.
We do this with only one thing in mind. Society has already paid the price for our education.
That's why I keep telling the people who make time to come and help us, because in other jurisdictions, they employ experts to sit there and do the education. In a part of the world, we rely on the experts to come.
Even the fact that the Ghana Health Service or the Ministry of Health has approached you, say, on this particular issue, we want you to help with public education. It would be enough for most of us.
Debbie. I'm saying that more orientation is different.
Let me just chip in. When Ebola came, the then regional boss of Ghana Health Service, right. Bonavo region, Dr. Isa, he approached me. Right. Me feel your understanding about these viruses are in the discourse. But it's only one person who have done that. And that is support
because
what you guys are saying.
A lot of people are also looking at it. It comes with packages.
Oh,
say. And to office, as soon as you said your baby question. And to say, may be a question. We won't call you. And it happens within our society. And no nema and yama be to sinino. A juma be branco for ye. Yentria omoka. But they owe it because unim. Yeah. If somebody passes on, right. The relationship and when now what I said now the pen when you don't know what bush and for no one for almost too quite free and cry free on regular basis until the list comes out say and when she see na assume sitim na assume sitim I ho na obehu say when she na see no enya nsunsanso e wo so. Because if you are your boss na ne ba, if you are wa wase ana unua bi eyire, and so ene man ba asoman yen hwe se ye hwe no yen nyina chen se peseminkum nya ntino yen timi nkyere ne ma esese ye kyere. We must keep educating people. Ba me pese me ka se obia o ye Ghana ba sa akwanya ba se ye vaccinate wa mesrewa na kwaya ode.
Now nominate Millicent go baby. The man who jam is go come out to me. Na go for me.
Ne na asem na yere wo so pa.
Go for me no na the odi kan born na man ye the otoso no. The man ya call me tia or tension Millicent madam. Umi enkeji. Interesting. In 23 minutes, it will be 9. Program here, Bresosem, and we are live on Ebusiana.
I'm sure it's come to you. One answer. Whether when you have taken the 2 doses,
2 doses now,
you can still be infected.
Right.
Because
when you still take 2 doses, who take it 2 doses now?
Please take notice.
Who take it 2 doses now? With my infected, but infection doesn't translate to developing the disease. Okay. Because already antibodies, moja anymore, soldier for mokai, say what panini beninti. A man free, ever show muna quickly, crashing. Into you always can test positive. This is already 2 as your crab, but undeveloped severe form of the disease.
Probably for certain diseases, there are 2 types of immunity. There are 2 types of immunity. Anti-infection immunity and anti-disease immunity. Anti-infection immunity nature say abuani intimi maumu kra. Anti-disease immunity no nature say abuani betimi abaumu na enso so yare emu odin unya. In the case of malaria, the ACIN, say an inti ebia in the past 4 or 5 years, unya malaria. What you say? Nenso so you bet me a show mojem na malaria parasites na be ewu. And so enya dia obekoso a developing malaria. It is because anti-disease immunity, but only anti-infection immunity. But what they mention as and it is possible for somebody to be immunized against a disease and still have the infection and not the disease.
Which is the case for COVID-19.
What did they mention?
Person who said, so a duration for the next 1 year, for the next 2 years. On the crowd can say, oh, any be a recover. Immune adieno say. Minimum whether there's time.
And one other thing so say you variant forms of the disease, mutated forms of the virus.
Okay.
And into possible because you may have antibodies and T cells are a year in readiness for a particular strain of the virus. Inti overhead no na for flobi antibodies no and immune cells na no
onyanya ode be ko na wadi ni sunkunim
ni na about recognition inti say or recognizing na when the last week or by inti the arsenal to deploy
but we hu dia na tell ato
na say foforo kra no ti de osi na adwuma no oba oso me hu se wetua de ba yi bibia ntua ho
dina che se ne Joseph tu ka ho asem se we go through vaccination in area ese se ukoso observe protocols no
exactly
ukoso show max
exactly
o distance from crowding now we use to sanitize our wash on sunny ade
and there have been reported cases of nkofo omunya the first infection, they had symptoms. They treat you now the variant forms and now mutant forms and now mutated forms now abba now say different from the first one I buy. The no should tell you say it is possible to be vaccinated against SARS-CoV-2 and tomorrow still have SARS-CoV-2.
Because of you said
albeit mutated form.
There's a bambono.
It's so important.
Anything here say or say to a symptom. Because the more I channel, not the more different variant emerging. For vaccine technology of the vaccine, say COVID-19 virus now, we will not put any hono. my cold virus no develop spines. I find spines no ye nkase and only related only to coronaviruses. The coronavirus you about you be brave so far. This is the third one. You as a pandemic. Near or mess Middle East respiratory syndrome disease.
Respiratory syndrome. Yeah.
In your SARS, severe acute respiratory syndrome disease, and then now corona. Nina no SARS spines no one change. See to me too as young fan say by the end of the year. Now critical mass of people are also one pan you need to me gain herd immunity no. It minya let's say to me too a bonus say they are safe. Because Madam Mensah kind virus no. The intent to us and say, me many be a hot no. Na could you also picky? What picky be a hot no? Now they means a picky, neighbor Musa. But I dem mention vulnerable host. Vulnerable host here, hoster. When your infection now, won't me develop your arena, won't mean fans are a bit more break at them and sana, I could be a militant so. That is the concept of herd immunity.
The nothing necessary, your boy and home by your tea and
intentum. Obi Busase, can you give birth or get pregnant after vaccination from 0 to 5 years? Can you give birth or get pregnant?
I don't understand.
Busase, who said there's some misconception.
Affected.
Yeah, the war, it could affect your friend is fertility.
Okay.
And maybe I won't me and insane. And I say won't me
no.
But there's no such thing as say yeah, the war won't me and I say won't me and Teddy Best, I'm sure sir, your question has been answered. Yes,
before you go, there was an interviewer Obi granting me on radio.
Right.
Obi Busa say, or Mate say, AstraZeneca, it may change the DNA of the DNA of the cells. So you can't DNA, your body is made up of different cells. Cells, no, your nucleus, no muna DNA anymore.
Right.
But AstraZeneca, no, you may say, didn't you mean now cytoplasm? In one nucleus,
cell, yeah, draw cell, if I saw the circle, barco, and the represented cell now. There's an inner circle.
Problem can one says, I sell now. You got a chat. It's open for us.
Inner part of the
oh, did you be a bishop? No, bro, for not
the central portion of cell beyond that area in a DNA. Now outside this inner circle, no, or near cytoplasm. I don't know the pages.
And I said, cytoplasm. One science on
you know any nucleus. And they were changing now the cytoplasm. The white in the cytoplasm.
Send the shower. Now, never come back, come from the side. Was it how it comes into Prof.
I
clear out in I think go be
FM 96.5.
Sir LGBTQ plus. Quite a mouthful.
Yeah.
There are so many issues people have raised. Ebisusu said on the basis of our culture and our religion, and they make specific reference to the three religions in Ghana: Christianity, Islam, traditional African religion. Say because our religion and our cultural values frown.
That's itia.
Itia sa homosexuality, ne lesbianism, ne enema keka nka ho no. Ekwen bia so. Ensese e pene e ma san kofo no e de o. Enkofo mu susu se. And it includes people like H.P.C. Prempe. Say ye nhire ni mra pote.
Ebusia FM 96.5.
San kofo no ntimi ni omudi ba. And that yenyi your emotions in free. Na ye approach issue no in a very dispassionate manner. Yen hwe the mra eka ene ne keka. From where you sit. So obi aye na adwene. Say inse say obakọ akọpẹ ọba bema ọba akọpẹ ọba na emumo ndị bema na no ọpẹ anke fe fa anke nisi
Yo, Professor Addai Mensah, Mensah da CBO. Let me say you can't LGBTQI. Remember, I was so behind the TSA. Say the Kassan Yama no here say the same Akasaho, Nanso so a Kaku here say, or say, your church a tearful no mutias. You can't LGBTQI. L no stand for lesbian.
96.5.
Oka lesbian sebi oba oni oba eda.
So mo dases.
I come first that day.
Isen ka ba ne be ma ehia mu anka omo be hia. Ah no timi de awo ene anigye eba no. We de oba no person oni oba. Ene nya sankita ho.
Ne kre. They aba Jane ye gay. Gay ni so ye be ma on dey say in spite of the fact say a man numbers does saying a member nyina no ampo some sectors of our cultural practices and some Muslims again say omgide che say be ma ba ware a man phone de so mpo baba kokra na emom obema mom na ne ho be na kono ene o bi ni bisexual ba bisexual oni be ma beda oni oba beda
oni de ne ye wani mu echi ahunka wo
ene yo T
FM 96.
T ne transgender na ne nkofuko a obo a oye oba but onya atinka say o se ko ba be ma
ye ne se oye be ma o hye oba body.
That is the point. Inti be ma o hye oba aha inti kon be faso bia no obe faso inti e man bi wo timi ko hospital e ma doctor for e almost surgery e de be ma bia poma wo mo inti sango for oba shenso aden for ha many panels of oba ho no sadi be man de na ka ho yeah ene wo intersexual for no okwa haba ene wo queer
Okohaba is
intersexual no ohunu muza we oba unu so be ma at the same time muze dem cannot say aha ene wo queer ana pe na wo ka queer wo se queer no nje dan tia say
FM 96.5.
Or different atinka
we be a teacher be it as a characteristics say teacher now on tia say them characteristics no why there anoma osibia do no pedo to no ntimi to no another what to jefa na no ntimi to for example bbit the chapel down
na and the queer no as a omunya different feelings at any particular time ndo mu nyina na omaka wo ho bom
no I say sick any for no
otwa and history just say yaw starting na ayin fo nkwa o e mam na man kwa da o jadi di mo no say since someone for crap do na me bo omo hu say society frowns against them ono mo try say omo nya people from other groups to come and join them yo
yes sir
anu pay best case so bi say lawyer now born di no
96.5.
ah o say friend say is ankama
yes ankama h kwesi prempe I say, Mrabia ni Ghana. I hope I quoted him right, but I think that's what he said.
Say any liga. Omenye nipa mienu. So me memma mienu. Omo bra bonten. A press conference. Some baba wara some bit ma survive. What are they telling us? Now, e dey na ebe wi ase kojo.
Dey na eba. Abada do.
Tabi say unze me kan ye wi ase me kan ye Ghana wi ase.
Me to ase. Ose dey na ebe wi.
E has been. Yeah, so concept of LGBTQI. You are from religious angle.
Right.
Okay, Bible ma. Nakopon kan. I was in the beginning God created heaven and earth. Me wa.
Right.
And then say Genesis 1:26. Okay, so let us create man in our own image and likeness. Or in fact, we must say,
Omo
say we shepherd.
Yeah, shepherd.
Kawasa what no odu be ka for me ben. Or Jojo. Baby.
Okay. Inti say if you are being instructed in the Bible, say young worry.
The portion that the last portion says, and let them have complete authority over the fishes of the sea, the birds of the air, and the beasts, and over all of the earth, and over everything that creeps upon the earth.
Yeah.
Control.
Yeah.
Good.
And you know, say Casa or Bema, are we not defeating what we kind the contest of Ghana?
Okay. What the Bible says.
Yes.
Yeah, but take the case of somebody who does not even believe in the existence of God. Somebody who doesn't believe in the Bible.
Okay,
now Obekachre and say Bible says
Meba Muslim. Any chief man somebody me respecting the pa.
Right.
Muslims omunyansem say so bema wo sika now they ho na so betima ware a man 9 provided say betima hwe omu nyina betima do omu nyina pa the kwa wo ho.
Right.
Are you telling me say Muslims be no onye Christian or Muslim obeja to man? Back to your question.
Yes.
Then the third one, the traditional rulers.
But are they the only people living?
Yantu say
Traditional
rulers. Minya sure say busumbia te why ne obepene say obanware bema. Yemusuo.
Right.
Oko krabia say I musum omusum nyame. Na wo ka say me dem ye bema na bema na ne ho makona ye betwa wosu. Utira nwe ko be say si wobo.
Ebusia FM 96.5.
Yen hwe legal terms.
Right. On natural canon knowledge.
Minya sure say nipa mienu say lawyer no say e wo mremu a ana say mre bia na wetie nipa mienu bitima kokaa mi anopa yi ana say dwara ndopa say omu de omu sis no oba bia ho nyom fa okumase obema ni nan ene na beti akati esi so ono kwan ni nipa o attracted into no opese o ware no anya possible. And lastly, the biology of nipa niema the way nature is designed here no obema is always a giver in every aspect of the world.
There's no part of us
that receives.
Oh, I see.
Until we give sperms, we give money,
we give words,
we give instructions. In the city na bema ba ko de o se mimi de be mo ho giver.
FM 96.5.
Yo. Anope you say President Akufo-Addo.
Na me busa about whether or not leadership has in any way contributed
they have
to the present state of affairs.
They have to be blamed. I want to come on 2 years ago. Nkora textbook na omo new version of the textbook Ghana Education Service director at the time. Okay, say yemfa portion in Shema talking about sexuality of people for children below the age of between age 6 and 10. Now no come say what was the idea? The biana na ya kasembi. O se Ghana ye nya atwom too much. Anu be hwemu no na ye sika bia obi gi wo ba bi nti na influence this policy direction. Let me put it on record. It is about time some of us say you're supporting Moses for a moment.
Ebusia FM.
Because you're under the question here. If I'm on why so vociferous.
He's always
one man alone.
They say in Crawford actually saying
albinos.
Officially they've written a letter to say
I didn't think it was true.
Yeah, say on a part of Omo view because he's speaking against
what?
Marginalized.
This is sad. No, this is sad. Say young here, no me boy as a country no yaw. Yentimi nyina no. Oh, I mean for want of a better word. Me, my dream is also na Akufo-Addo with excellency.
Has he not given enough?
He has not. His body language is not. Unfortunately, is not giving me that assurance. Last week,
what do you want him to do?
Last week, we can say Seminiano. na me no obinya asem abonten so ofi se masem onye da kese me nim se masem onye da but men kase me dem jamfimfim.
Is it always the case?
Ba the moment I be jamfimfim no you must have a side
Diplomacy.
oh massa that's how you nya twom hu we hu efri ho no ofi se me na manye ni ya se enye nipa na nim kwampo na otwi mugina nchen a oh just for in fact we dey ankoyi kra I'll be pleased with it. I don't say because oh medium jamfimfim. That's how we me. The moment I wear sa no, minya impression be say you are against me. In that guy expect to say, kai shubai, like a government, probably maybe he's looking for a better opportunity. The same way as Excellency ex-president Atamils, otuna num to can say, me there, mitia, this LGBTQI. He was emphatic on that, and okay, the matter was put to rest. Especially so when you are granted an interview.
No,
Now, what say? Giving
strong
yes,
coalition hasn't emerged.
then it means you have been invasive, and that is why I have a problem. I do, and I will throw a word of caution. Election of the next president is only 3 years from now. I mean, 4.
Inshallah.
The votings of who comes to power largely and in part will depend on how these issues of LGBTQI is handled. Many J say police for no conduct sweep. Oh baby, supposedly me a meeting, no. But I've been told say no arrest was made. If no arrest was made, I will not follow them because minimum what constitute an arrest. Probably I'm not a lawyer, but at least by that act alone, that singular act, Omoka say. They cannot be there and we feel there is a attempt in the right direction. But we expect more from them. Ghana is not ready to accept this group of people amongst us.
All the people I have heard speak to the issue of lesbianism, LGBTI, vis-a-vis the law.
FM 96.5
on natural canal knowledge. And then there are people who ask, what then is on natural canal knowledge? On the issues of the law, I was hoping that Nana Ose would be here.
Yeah.
But on religion, as you put it, the 3 religions are now Kanwasem. And yet, no pay any religions are Ghana. And the constitution allows for freedom of worship.
Yes.
And I cannot imagine how one who believes in the Bible, or the Quran, or the Bhagavad Gita, for that matter, ebeye ne say, and nam say me Quran and nam me Bhagavad Gita and say me Bible ne e can say nti. Enye ade no say uji Bible ni dio, say unyi Bible ni dio. Enye se koye sa na enkonkoye se ye force ade bia ye gidie on a group of people.
I like where you are coming from. Probably you person who play the devil's advocate, which is very good of you. But I didn't you. The mere fact say we belong to a religious sect.
Blows the boot chunky.
Doesn't necessarily doesn't necessarily mean that.
Let me play devil's advocate.
Yes.
Let me put a question and
I say me take proper context. And not just with me the OPBI. And it say Koba say osofu bi EPA.
maybe if they had a religion,
Meba.
and that religion would have okayed it for a man and a man.
But are you saying religions do not have controls? Is that what you are saying as a country?
They do, but they said yeah.
Every religion.
They said yeah. O Bible, and then Bible. Say Bema ebewari Obano. They could have some religion or a religion, which religion okays a man marrying a man.
But would that be enough to say that? Would you then play what society is saying and do whatever you want to do?
Society, society.
I'm coming, yeah. Until I'm catching say the fact say yeah allow say and sorry cool and you okay no. When by arguing say no so be sorry no cause media masori mu no obani oba warrior another bema warrior me sure say you because say no religious divide a part of that sorry no tea.
But I think that I don't know if it's the Anglican Church or whichever church, but baby.
But not in Ghana.
Not in Ghana.
You're talking about Ghana.
Yeah, but sir, the Anglican Church in Ghana is it very different from?
But can they do it in Ghana? We are sorry. You are abandoned by the laws of the land.
The laws of the land. Okay.
They have no excuse.
In places where LGBTI are allowed to be.
Yes.
Say, oh yeah, imam, and as a pastor. Now can say, officiate a marriage between a man and a man, and a woman and a woman. Once it me trust, it me the work.
But that land and Ghana.
No, but I'm saying, say, in the event that LGBTI 96.5, I'm sure we'll get there, where pastors and imams will not have the option of deciding whether or not they would want to officiate a marriage between same sex. And
now your fears should be allayed. Intimacy just say, I'm not saying it's not possible, but you must be no.
But
say
I would want to believe say but
say basodia you get there.
Onim the leadership from the past up until now. And I'm using the wokan here.
Yeah.
There have been times in the past when leadership has been explicit in their opposition to LGBTI. But from that time, don't you see a moderation in the position of leadership? I don't know if you are getting my point. Yeah, yes.
It's bound to happen. And
are you quoting or these are your own words?
The reality, I'm taking inspiration from His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
I thought so.
My position is clear. I cannot be for it. My scoop, culture, everything about me, intimate, any sa orientation, any pet, mintimi nintum, mintimi entiase acquainting. Now, to the specifics, and me pese me din komwe efa kwan horopi.
Right, go ahead.
Yeah. 96.5.
Ni nti a yabedu baby abedu and omo ehwehwe say aban be kan bibi no, unfortunately they will be disappointed. Even if say aban be kasa on kan bibi e be ma wanya gidie say aban support. Because
government will not be explicit.
No. Aban would not be able to do that. Because from baby ameteno, Aban kasaya on kasaya because emra mahun kwan.
Emra mahun kwan.
Yes, emra mahun.
Into meka dey.
What you say? They will hide and say that already ashishe emra mahun kwan. Today bi na mo hwehwe say mebeka. Ya de emra no na be ye adwuma. Inti then America. But eniema aban ye nyina eni adanse ese won support.
Okay. 96.5.
Eniema aban ye nyina edi adanse ese o support.
Sir.
Me
pese me ka say bibia ni ho aban ya
e kire se on support.
E kire se on support.
Bibia o ye bia kire se o support.
Okay. Inti odi ya
bibi so support.
Yeah, dem kan no bia atiase o. Thank you. What dem obey me inti ya pon wa metimi a kire o mu bi o. But bisa ho say mfie be miensani sa ade we ho nkomo baaye our sexual orientation say ye be kire na obia be hu say enti ase ye ka kire ye ne say ampa oye bema obi so ye oba ye memu ba ne bema na ware. But ye pese ye kire no na ote ase se so okoto se bema bi se on de one bema ne beda onte na se sa oba so one oba ne beda onte na se sa o ti ase sa disua no e na omanyi mpanimfo ka kire ye se ye ma ho kwan na ye nkire ye mofra na omunya sa ante ase no se ampa or your bar is a so worry bema. But so could she bema be no so be worry bema, and answer in tears you on a bema at 10 year. Yamma who quine and tray your mofra say, and no so and Sabreno, Sabreno, Anna Yamubi can say, sad ye we. And yet, na mama mian ka ho asem no. A country where even said the old Jones or you bit me aka say politically oriented no. A fan from that partisan perspective. Enunti ye ntimi anyina sa abre no so ankan si chiri mu se ade we. Enye correct. Enene ya bedu baby ya bedu. Na tie nkomo no. Nkomo no nye se ni obi aka enyo. Nkomo a ye di no krom ha ne se. Roman for wo som. Methodist for wo there. So oba faith, there is a Christian faith, there is a Muslim faith, there is a traditional. Sini nyina wo krom ha mujitum. Nti aden also be ware bema wo yo ba obi anka ohwe. Obi nso obe ware oba o ye bema obi anka no hwe. Na aden na obi so no de na tenka no one bema tena ya wo so nti ase. That is the discussion we are having in this country today. And so obia o kasa bia asem the right.
Yeah.
Say na o kosom kwasiada obi nso kosom efiada.
O kra de o ye shepherd.
O ti ase. Enfumso bia ni hu yama ho kwan say ye no saa. Na adan na obi nso say ono nso opese oye no kwan fufuro say so a opese wo oposu no. Na adan na homa ni nya ne fa ahodie. That's the discussion we are having in this country. They are pushing the argument that let them be.
They are right.
Let them be.
And I could only Catholic bishops. I don't know some layer or opinion.
Oh, he's the president of the Catholic Bishops Conference.
And I found the position. I tried very hard
to understand and appreciate Baby feedback.
I couldn't get it. Because here was the Catholic Bishops Conference that had come out and said, the president should act. Their president was saying that before no rights. And then they get yes.
Yeah.
That's a double speak.
This is there.
Oh yeah.
There. Open grab and send on your phone.
But doesn't see
double standard.
They all kind of as a contradiction to the he tried to explain.
I even went the point of asking him a personal question. Say homosexual about her. So or behind or die. What the banana or say I. And I'm busy. Na oba hwa enema na obeye ni nyina ye nema utia o se no de me hihye mra mana me mane nye but edan ne de me de be mane fi se o ho kwan so onya adwuma o ho kwan so obenya ba bi obena onya ho kwan so obeye sei onya ho kwan
touch not my
but yeah and that's ehon ye wo enti nkomo aye di no enye the issue about o prinso ana o prinso nkomo nkofo di wo krom ha sese ne se o si gay nanim na chi wani je mo pe obi an she o fa.
Okay, my big brother say Kojo, in fact I don't know how you understood the bishop's statement. What he was trying to say was those people should be treated with respect and their rights should be guaranteed.
Thank you.
What it means is that you can rent a room to a cigarette smoker, but that person cannot be allowed to smoke in the house. Just as a weed smoker should be given a room to rent, but that person can also not smoke the weed in the house.
Well, I understand them. The question was specific. If you find a homosexual come to your house, so he's identified already. What I said, we assume that saying it here. So you do not know. We smoker there. Okoto so no man na unya issue. Na unnimu a you cannot say so you smoker. Who we are. And so if somebody comes and identifies him or herself as a weed smoker, or that's why I asked a very specific question. Because round and come on, the issue is no more about Adiano as of mine, yempe, intimi ni hon komo. Omo argument ne say, na unya kwanya sa ope be ma wo ne nenam. Wo ye oba no. Obi nso ye oba so ne oba na benante. Aden na ope sa wo je safa ahodie no wo no efiri ne nsem.
Wo she black, wo she yellow and blue.
Argument no. And Pizarro say Nkomo we would come up in the election 2024. Huh? Oh yeah. President Akufo-Addo. It's not coming to anybody again for any mandate. What I say? President Akufo-Addo would not come to anybody for any mandate.
But they want this party to still be.
Who said that to you? Oh, sir, me dinkomobi. You know dinkomobi. And I can't say President Akufo-Addo. He is the astute politician we've ever had. Presidents are or not a politics. I say the he would do it till he gets it. We are where we the opans or Nensaka. He is not too interested in what happens after he is done.
He will not be a good leader if that is his disposition.
As if he would care. As if he would care. No. As if he would care.
Which leader?
I'm saying that. Yeah. I think 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, I gave you the difference between President Akufo-Addo and President Kufuor.
Yes.
And that President Kufuor still carries a cross.
But then I did not get the impression. Say, that
is the point. President Kufuor carries a cross of burden. But I'm sure he decided to want to carry that cross till his end. Because in the interest of the party and the people of this country, now Opeso had that sacrifice.
Let us say from where you sit.
I sit
President
here.
Kufuor was a good national leader.
Yes!
But a bad party leader.
Yes!
I see.
President Akufo-Addo is not ready to go in that path. He wants to go in the path of honor near office ebeboa whilst he does what he does. Enunti, baby ayabedu, I said that you bargained for a leader and you went and you voted for the leader. This is the baggage you will receive having the leader you chose.
It's a complete package.
A package.
You not think so?
Entino and I do not expect President Akufo-Addo to come out and be telling us what our expect is Obekano.
Because from what you said, the law makes it clear.
Yes!
Is it that clear?
It is clear. The law says that. Say okoto bema ne bema say omo da. Etiamra. Now listen.
But nipa na
obeden wakoto obeden wakoto bema ne bema say omo da. Until obekọ akopie bi so no. E dey charge na ade kobu nipa no.
Umpiezu a tunda.
What you say? When is it rape? When one of the two comes out to say so. When one of the two.
Not both.
And nothing na me kan say kurom ha. Ye ka keta se hye ne proya ye se ye kono. Ye nkumbi ye ntimi. Me na mabema bribe na waje. Ye se wo a woje ye ne me amede ma ye nyina. We are guilty. Ndiye me enu ha na be kwa akoka. What you say? And so
we have one of the finest national security in the world, if they choose to be. And one would have thought the processes leading to the establishment of the office will not have been lost on them.
It's not an area I wanted to get into. Now what you when discussions started, yes, I could be office, yes, and on this basis, and Bishop's conference issue statement. The Monday there was a propaganda tool in this country. The President Akufo-Addo instructed CM close to down office. No man to That was Monday. But your da bang and you close you and then you to dine. It was Thursday.
And you're too dying.
And you're too dining. Some Monday announcement said President Akufo-Addo orders him to dine.
So it's all done on Monday.
Meba. It was a propaganda. It was falsehood. Then you know correct.
But me question is national security no.
National security bank. Unim Kromha. We work under an executive presidency. The national security would only take instructions from the president, especially on these matters. I'm asking you, until Sir Papa na or then a diamond hand, Eti Wokuma say, say, it's your cast of Fred, the Obeje Danos. Now, there was a day in no, and you know, I made this out the bay. Now, say, no, any chairman, I'm a bank. So the person moved from Kumasi to Accra.
Information
and that person now alerted the security apparatus that Adiebi made the diamond Nipekubi and Yamano no the dining and Mini said Nunti on budget dining Timon and none of my echo anymore.
And not on the.
It had nothing to do with President Akufo-Addo and instructions. Yow. Omo ambassadors Omaba Kurumhan. Who takes care of them? Is it not this country?
6.5.
Yes. Until when the Australian ambassador and all the
and when
people
say take care, let's clarify. So the Bayan in terms of their security and
a ball buying. Until time Omu P. Ako sa ceremony national. National security for him. Now president in him. The president receives a daily briefing. Please. Yeah.
Oh, there you have us believe a pin talk crowd.
Yeah. Opa yeti hey. Me and can be different from what we should say. Now he.
Let's say.
Now he the best you has here.
What does that say?
Huh? What can obe himself? No can hear now one can hear.
Now fee.
What I say? And so Sanya Manino. The president and all the people who are related to him in terms of our governance structure knew, and nobody was bothered. Yeah, Masemne say it would take more than just talking to resist Sadiwi.
More than just talking.
Oh yes.
How do you mean?
Because as we sit today.
Because Unim and Kofobi.
No. That's not my orientation.
No,
I'm happy you raise it because sometimes before interpreting
you know what you can do.
I would not advocate for that. But you see, when your right ends at the tip of your nose, that's where my right starts. Until when you push your right too much, you are expecting that I would also push my right. And when we keep pushing, then the issues will start rising. Enuntina nanka ebe yese mampeni be kasano. But sorry to disappoint you. The president will not speak on this matter. Because the laws he says are there. Yes, okotu se nipa mienu. Onyo ba ne bema eda etiamra.
If a group of people almost say Adewe say penimane ekoso eba ho say tuonfo na onim say kasa de enya de be ya afudo be na de. You
see, the moment the people start coming to you, you must ask yourself some questions. One kasa no as so bisa ho say then na wo ho no mo be
enya hwe kojo omo pewasem omo
there be omo ntimi pewasem.
That's
the point. Because you see your orientation, your mindset.
You're not getting my point. Me say and conforbi susu say LGBTI for they should not be given room to function. And I want so I can say what now I say o kasa na ebema omoja adwumadi na umdi de ndi wa igwa. Sanko for ya ba ho say we hear near feel kasa. Kasa na
what is the solution?
And I will say kasa na de emfa. And o ma ba ho say into wo sha e de ade ne enye.
Unim say omutimi ba me ho de na che so ma compromise. Oh yes.
But you is not
understanding. No. I understand you. I understand your question.
Maybe
I'm saying
for
that.
Want of a better word.
I'm saying that
for an advice.
I'm saying that the advice as you talk about.
Only group of people now bet your advice. They are anti-LGBTI.
I'm saying that. I'm saying to you that this country works with rules and regulations.
Yes.
At any point, you would have to go through a process of rule and regulation. Even when obi etia fa ahudie so no o de mra and correct. And so we have the courts, we have all of that. Na enunti na make kanchira o say mo hwehwe say mampani mekasa no. I've answered you. I'm saying that
beyond Kasano.
I'm saying that anybody who has an issue with it should go through the process.
Which is?
Thank you.
The lawful process. Mabisa will say, are hiding behind the law because if you don't go and meet two people doing it, what basis? And now they call court. Am I a bua one for no? What you say? Resisting us, say the way I deal with you. See, my home coin. A man common cry. You start to say a can. We have lost the case. As a country, we must now take a position, even if it means now going to Parliament.
Those are some of the things you think they should be doing.
Yes, yeah, can say, some common say, Yansu of Fanhudiano, some common Nisa or May, Yaka. What I say? Until we get there, and I'm saying that we won't get there. Because already they have infiltrated our system. And Oma, who expects and come back can be a better sound in your mind. I'm not speaking that. Because they have been compromised. No, they have, yes, they have been compromised. What I say? People have been compromised though. And so, when we say it is bound to happen, as President Akufo-Addo said, indeed that is what it is. And nothing American say, Kasade, we will be talking. It won't change it. There must be another arrangement to resist this.
Okay. But that
resistance should not be going out and hitting people.
LGBTI. What's the way forward?
Boy, dear Quan.
Oh, that's fair.
We know it's a fine time. Now you only have one kind of change. Me who come and back.
It's only money, boy. I say, go to eh? Is it the only little commando? Ah,
yeah, I see me.
My woman here have asked me, boy,
yeah, I see me. It is a baby as I'm Cassio. Baby, I do know. I said, me
Baba be boots out, confanoche. A friend is
yeah, I said, no. You see, Nicano, I didn't. I was say a red double your effort to be a baby a cancer. She do baby who not Nipa also can't assemble home, or moon can. Nature will say. The one born here, okay, Canano, a will be a smoke as a moon. Dear, no, I near Bray. Was cited Catholic Bishop Conference. Papa Asma could do an interview. Uti as some kind. And the Papa name Mukan ever kind. Why we are because said you with him a chief from Fantino.
Touch not my anointed.
And Tina, Yana and Conformous States and Roma, so for him, say no more and say no more. Even though we are unfun and inquiry in Kohuni. So one pass what can Sim say unless no because Domokan, yes, I know a day. Or Mucho. And it will be behind with nine. No one's any Pacono, I'm robber, only than behind.
It's all the Beman no Otchere the same brow.
And then the other Bemano. Everyone wants to put ultimate cancer by our idea, they can call it Nipana. Yajinamuno, I didn't a fair you. And you know, one can we are no, it is a Yanni one cofono, or money below. Baby, I didn't cancel Nipana. Or my judge them, and I got much for money, a common first and get for pay out. Why am I?
In Ghana for you, there are a lot of people. We are against it. anka ona na wo kana anka yo 20 cities in Moses for money on the chief was akodo
ye nyina nke ye sori ni akoni fese masa what's the next step
next step no or be press conference ye nyina ni edim
never come meet me already abo amampani so also on canon person can because at the end of international reputation and so you know what the Catholic priests who are against it should go on the streets now and demonstrate. Let say FIDA they should go on streets. Utaga now for demonstration. There must be some visible evidence that suggests that as a country we don't want it. On that basis, the president can go to the people, whoever they are, and tell them that maybe I have do no. My people will not accept it. But say crusade I mean, they won't do anything to us.
O man penny the obeka no wa kan wi oni bibia obeka biem. Wa cheche mo wi o. Ana the interview no ye nteli he. Wo se metina ha ko school sa de wi ko na eni ha. But over the time no kofa ya na isa de na da ba ndi gidi ye se Ghana so be do ba bi no. Ni papi adwene be den. E be koso na fe hu se. One day no
was it not being real?
It one on what will be a bimo. Your man, Upa and someone the next 10 years on minimum penny. Won't mean if she was idea. What do you mean hungry? Because no, not you not you say, almost all right. So, anyway, human rights activists.
Pizarro is
now human rights activists.
One change and go for this.
Baby, where's our Pizarro and
Toss.
Is that what he said?
Cross him.
He's a human rights activist. He cannot be seen.
Yo. Yes, sir. Adiana at threaten Akufado. Mutini. I did a threaten president. One can say Nakuna Bato. Galamsi. I know one can say. I'm fine.
I don't think so.
Oh,
the law is there. And so let's use the law.
Or say, Galamsey with the many Taho, Emily Twin for Ghana. You should be known, Yensassi.
So we say, LGBTQI, the magnitude, Galamsey magnitude.
A penny affecting the survivor. We'll call you more inimic at one we are a Japadia Beja or Mania, Baku, Ecotifos is here. Asmaba.
Whatever Japadian now, the Jan, or Ujemo.
We did say a Japanese cry penny. Yet the junk runs a windy white son. Ye pie.
No,
Dear legacy. Oh, dear legacy.
When you die, you may not even know that you ever lived.
Yes, some man to bedding.
Oh,
assembly. I don't pay
as a man on the maker. O say, and I'm adding no money.
Hey, when one can you? And I see and say, I said, headmaster, oh, no, not the Japadian go be a shave into when can animal go. I say, has said you almost junior. But oh, baby, I know no fever. Na jet that they jack or dab on things or no fun, say.
I saw for Nina, also be a teacher. So much to idea we are so for no. I come fast with me, promoted title, young soldier test ideas.
Legitimately, we must use every means possible.
I saw for a come fast
show that
a boy or title.
Well,
Sakwan idiot. You're
almost fast boy or title. Well, I remember for Shabby Basso. Odi fo bi di o mo de kudu o mo se se no e hu hia so for no mo mientin wa bon na no so for e friends Ebenezer
somewhere
Opambo
the nation the nation asem na oka hote ono
wo se na me na me dina menye maka kan obi enti me 2 minutes seven so
the nation
no kotu ye echiwade e boman
the abomination that causes desolation.
Oh, asemo ya yeti hu ya asemo eginsemu a ebe drama ene.
Enyinsem.
Ha?
Enyinsem.
Oh, say dia won setimi krom no.
Afa na boba.
Yes, I saw nine and I don't say sane.
There be more shepherds there. Was almost 30 year fasting.
I mean more asompa ni mfo say. Ya uni maybe mamka winja to. Abosom no ho. Akonfo no we no. Uni se konfo ontime ntwempra.
Okay.
Se konfo mistake twempra wa bosom be ko no. Bosom an kan se open so ware ma 50 you be ahwade.
Okay.
Enti wo de e wo ma chiwade kese kra. And the parliament of it was saying illegal to enter from exit. And it's actually illegal to abuse the entrance.
Udru officers mess. Oh, more in and out. Now far out ho edi rema. Maybe I could be what sign.
Yeah.
Sign the right place.
When the country offer out rema ehupano. Ubi fa wepi udi agro weden. Ubukuno.
Load if you have.
Very good.
That's it. PV Judge that's it. And in 27 minutes will be exactly 10. Now the program about every year. Well, PV Judge that's no Dr. Samuel Jesse Fusu, microbiologist for University of Energy and Natural Resources, senior lecturer. Also, and Kojo Mafo, or a senior broadcast journalist. Kojo, man, what's a work and send baby? I be a fat confirmation. 40-year-old project. Now, about the 12 thing, say structure now fairly the structural integrity test, and indeed I was say it fully structured it down.
FM 96.5.
At some point, confirmation Emma AESL about the year structural integrity testing, and gave it a clean bill of health, and on that basis. And on my penny, a copay sika, and no cobo bosia, and also first cafe foot say or the baba betwaso near year. Now they hand it over to a contractor. The contractor does his independent structural integrity test and says that the structure cannot stand on its own over a certain period, and that it will serve us better. Say it be fully structure. Could you minimum? We are broadcast journalists. Who do your communication? And so that's what we do anymore. So that's one thing I say almost say structural integrity testing. I feel.
Etwetwemaso. Nyase menti ase. Etwetwemaso say enhyehyɛ ya yenim si ye de ye adwuma wo ye man mu no. Si ye de san hyehyɛ ne ye adwuma. Eni se ye bedu ba bia ya bedu.
Okay.
Ba bia ya bedu. Eni se ye bedu ho. Efise enhyehyɛ ne mmra ye de ye adwuma wo man mu no. Se no ne ye de ye adwuma. Ebe ye den si ye beka se adan no ye bu agu. Me pese mi gina enkomo a.
Is what an structural engineer? Only technical eye. They be as I'm
a girlfriend. Of any I'm a girlfriend. You chill no pay. Yeah. Baby me fi beni. Ye man penny. Nana do danko akufo ado. Ena 15th of May 2020. Oba Asante Mantemu. Ena obodwa. Obodwa ena ofre mampeni ofre Krowura Otumfo Osetutu the second. Ena odene betna edwabo no ase. Ana okosere no so ometna edwabo no ase. Na onhye nanimunyam. Enam se bibia Asante Mantemu ya hwe animu 40 years. Na eye mampeni kutu e champon da ye son se ebebem no. Enne May 15, 2020 Nana Adodanko Akufo Addo masa ada ye son no abam nti edan no a esi ho no yakwaji sika 155 million euro say ye de say sika no ebe complete project na ye President Kutu Echampon da ye son right and ye nyina ye bose and ye kan se mampani ayebi efise eye ne ye nyina ye hwehwe se ebesi no se ebedi mfie miensa nti ye ne se ye di ho nkomo a na ye se ye kan se ye koto se aka mfie yenu ene kakra na ye wi ana pani bi ti amena nso se what is edan no ye bibu agu na mzo pani as ankomo we dia but enam said ya utie nti no metu ho anamo anadwona me ye checks nyina wie na che say e yampa sa decisions ye bu agu no ababo so me enu kra ansa na ye beto aba no and say ade we die enti me frefre nipa bia me ni mo say technically e be den ya bedu sa ampempe so no obi a chirechire mu eno ne ma ade che anopa no ye sha ase esi ye di ho nkomo na enra ena me ne Mr. Vanderpoel the technical officer scheduled on this project edi nkomo enema mienu miensa na me pefri ne ho say ebra His Excellency Nana Danko Akufo-Addo eba Asante Mantemu a Kururate na o announce say wakojiska 155 million euro na yede betoa edan no a complete edimfidie ne pa ne ade nyina asim na ebema yempa 750 no sa bre na President Akufo-Addo ka sa asem na kire Kurura ene yen ya wa Asante mu wiase nyina na onim se edan no ya complete a enye yie.
That statement now Omeki was based on the assessment that had been done by AES.
Yes. And AES the Institute of Engineers had also done their report. The Crown agents had also done their work.
For me, the president was spot on at the time.
What you say? Now, yeah. And I want to challenge anybody. I want to see the document that says that contractor for company na AC dine and I recommend this year mu dine.
Why do you doubt that?
They have not said so. I'm saying that the contractor. Don't worry.
I can understand why we would want to speak to a document that indeed tells us to say contractor for Adia Oma Yenye on the basis of which they are advising. But the first and say young you know, a man casa or money.
This work we do. It is not everybody's name you can mention. Wait. So this work we do. This work we do. What you say? And yet, a beer now betimi di din ato abonten. But me pese me can say, company a friend contractor have not recommended that the structure should be pulled down.
Okay. A team for say contractor now yes a contractor be at 6.5. And for now company na KDTIA market in Brazilian company no. Omu di ankasa any contractor CONTRACTA.
Okay. Contractor. What is it? So when we say contractor, is the company we make reference to?
No.
Yeah. And nuntina in Central for Ministry of Health be share Wednesday. No? I asked one question.
Wednesday.
Yeah. Because of these issues, they came and they met the media. And they took the media round the place. But when person spend the time, I just will ask the basic questions. Right. Now, I asked the question. Document. No? I recommend they say you mu dining. No? Can I have a copy?
At least say the details in the final recommendation.
What I say?
And in plain language.
What I say?
And yet technical language.
And my reason for asking was not because me read a metiase, but to say this about medical near there you were experts. I can then go to those who are experts for us to go through the document and come to a certain conclusion. Fortunately, Mr. Vanderpoel, the scheduled officer on this project from the Ministry of Health, Ekawo Central for Jumedina said, "Obe send me a copy of the document." Okay. And when I'm in the interview, I reiterated it. He said yes, he would get me a copy. But he also admitted in that interview that say at the time of President Akufo-Addo, Ghana Ministry of Health had not done all the feasibility studies,
all the assessments, and also
everything that we needed to do upon which we could have gone for the loan
had not been done. Okay. Mami Musa, on say sometimes you have a spectrum of activity.
Otchere FM 96.5.
Said the next steps no ubetimi atake. Ebi wo ho a na ye from say 1 to 10. Unya ye from 1 to 8. 9 ne 10 a matter of course. Into we do 8 you know, you can start the process knowing that once I will do 8 and 9 and 10 give and I said I don't know if you get
no I understand you but then yes I see it because you see I wanted to satisfy myself with what was happening,
right?
And so I asked the question Mampeni buy because you know you must have a document,
right?
The basis upon which you are asking for the facility,
right?
The facility must also understand what it is.
They are giving you money.
Giving you money to. And so maybe say President Akufo-Addo buy or cut sword say yakoji sika ebe ye no na ne esese ye wo ade no hu nyina ebe ma yen se ade no se de tie ye bugu na esi fofora na be boa yen chance ye be complete or say unfortunately because Ghana is a poor country, there are a lot of things we are unable to do. And so at the time that President Akufo-Addo was here, having secured the loan to complete it, we had not done all the needed work
that had to be done.
That had to be done to inform us in seeking for the facility. Oh, yes.
Then what, I mean, from the OK, let's say we went for the facility to complete the structure. Which structures integrity?
We did not know. Yes. No, that is where we are. Oh, and until him, and come on, ye dino. Men pese ubia be fan say. I said, resisting our person or resisting BB. No. But I'm asking the basic questions.
So far, I don't get that impression. Questions.
What I said? That is where we are. And so the officer says that at that time, now integrity works. And the question all of us should be asking is that now they tell us for the completion of the project. Says Sikana, a bit me and my young esifofro. Says Sikana, yes, says Sikana, a bit me a saying bubu when you know.
Okay, good enough.
Oh,
one say, Yakwako Jessica 135 million euro. Say the Bible complete the existing structure. What they are saying is that because the structure has failed the integrity test, the structural integrity test, what we will have to do will be to pull down the existing structure. For altogether.
Yes.
The Eba Basin will have a reduced bed capacity.
Now we are going for a 500 bed capacity instead of the 750.
Okay.
Let's put on record that the initial from a Champions one was 950.
Right. It's about 750. Zikaya Kwagoji bet me 500 and still provide funding for the pulling down of
everything.
The existing structure.
Everything.
It's not too difficult to understand, is it?
No. Ask the people who are technical, and they will tell you that that arrangement cannot be possible.
Why?
Because,
because me didn't I make answer and yet they say better say
what you say me chiro bibi. Enra, me bisa papa ne say, what is the cost of raising down the structure? He said at that point, not only figures. Later he will tell us because we need to know that cost. We need to know the cost of the full completion. The interesting thing is that President Akufo-Addo, he told us the project never cost 155 million euros.
Okay.
When the Ministry of Health, MT Media, almost the cost of the project is 138. Okay. Why are we having differences in the figures? Or say there's some insurance that needs to be done. There's 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4.
And
I didn't call her.
But the real cost of the structure.
But you see, I have issues because I am talking to other persons who are experts in the area, and I'm getting an impression that the variance in terms of 138 and 155, and Yamano can say another part of cost should not lead us to that point.
17 million.
What I say, it should not lead us to that point. But to say the Michelle Nkomu as a mechanic, me say. me gusu a me bisa nsam na yemmisa yen ho se eye den na yetimi kwaje bosia se ye de be complete bibi a na yennim.
Yeah, I think that is where the real issue is.
Yeah.
But the issue of
I'm saying that even those areas, there are still gray areas, and we need to ask the questions because you are now building a 500 capacity a day. At the time, President Bahar, na unim we nyina. He didn't know.
Yeah.
Now we are told that the Ministry of Health has taken a decision, which means government is aware.
No, the government has taken a decision. Who can say Ministry of Health has taken a decision, which means government is aware? Ministry of Health, government.
I understand, but you see, when the Ministry of Health sits and have the technical idea, they now go and present it. Then the government adopts whatever they have submitted. Until now, government position, they say, I'm saying that 2 months ago, before December, into somewhere in October, and that decision, I said, GCSC for and a community assembly in our buy. As we speak, you do not think that the president owes it to us, and especially the king of Ashanti, to inform the king of Ashanti that, Nana, me ba o nanso no ba ko mienu enam de ba wanim me ba kwaye no nsakraye aba san sakraye no e de ba ko mienu ne miensa enu nti wadaroma.
I think that has been done.
Well, since you want to think it is good, but if you said you know, no, if you said you know, then I would have taken solace in there.
But
but
I think that, and it is not just a guess.
I think you said you think, and I'm saying if you think, I can't begrudge you. Fortunately, you didn't say you know, so I want to leave it there and move on. What's my say? Na yen who say empempenso a yabeduni. The other question is that yaw. Building na ye buagun. Enye hwa na ye besi foforo no. Ye si foforo no.
Oh baby.
Another space. The question that the ordinary Joe you mentioned is asking is that we cannot use the building for anything. And yesterday the man said no.
Well, it depends.
Yeah. Because again, I've asked the question. When you go into an empty room, and this is the layman you always say I am, and I don't want to run away from it. Okodanya obiye nimshinsi. Na opone edan no tokuro fabi. Sa space na abeda ho. Ene dan no obiye nim no. Se ukuri ejina so a. Se be shiki. Okay. Yura ho no. Edan no hwi nim. Ena omo aye enyuma bi a omo de kire se me na mo gina so kase. Yes.
From the time our president buy no be can say ye be ye ya kwa ko gisika this amount e about be ejuma bi cause was our structure.
No.
Okay. Also.
Ena ye de ekowura ho no mo kire se pillars na esisi ho no ebi columns and name. Thank you. I'm sure he knows it. What I say, yeah? What I say? And so I'm sure knowing the technical things they know, they would understand our layman's point. Yeah, I am still going to ask the questions. I have a lot of doubt in the technical advice, expertise, and things they are mine. Ultimately, if Niomo Kenya proves to be right, I want to think that we must then put people before the courts.
You must answer.
What you say?
Yeah.
Because there's been some technical advice I'll go through him.
In the past.
And Jensen under Professor Mills,
Yeah.
we spent 3 million cedis
30 billion.
in roofing and all of those things. And we do a roofing in every so.
The same structure.
Yes. You roofing in every so.
It's in readiness for.
Thank you. So
demolition.
that's
Yeah.
that cost this animal.
Yeah, wait.
Somebody.
Yeah.
But
AESL, interesting. AESL say that building is fit for purpose. And Mr. Vanderpoy acknowledges that.
AESL insists that.
Yes, the report at AESL and Troy at the command buying fit for purpose.
Yeah, me say.
And I'm sure AESL, you know, a recognized body that does these works.
It is a AG.
Okay.
In architecture and engineering.
Okay.
AESL.
Okay.
Similar to
Okay.
AG. But the people say that was the assessment AESL did then.
At the time.
It's not too long ago. When that assessment is done, it should be able to look forward, so to speak, and say, yeah, assessment in the assessment will be good even in the next 2 months and I said 3 months. It's the reason why I'm asking.
Why are they? Because the and now why are you projecting forward? Is that not correct? Thank you. It is the answer
now. 2 months ago, and I want to believe say an assessment, and now there should be a minimum length of time. You be here, see another assessment. In this length of time, the assessment done by AESL should still hold good.
It should be valid.
Yeah,
I
fancy here.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yes, structure and host is
Yes, the book rule.
what is not fit for the intended purpose.
Right.
Remember? And will be 3-bedroom house be an 4-bedroom house will be see. No confirm mason quite record be home.
Right.
In your architecture would design a dino.
Yeah.
You been your geodetic for me come
The soil.
soil. No.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
You almost shall say now, Obecom, your resident engineer, what you There be out or share. Yes, your consultants are also to site meetings, almost short report, or Bibia. Say BBS not a bad affect structure now. Honor yen twice.
Yeah.
The Hekwan for a bayan and I didn't have ya commonsensically. A dana intimi nipa cost a bibuguno. Eden would do 4th floor. No. You team the under 4. As issue original for about 15 years.
But only the problem I have with I think that successive chief executives of Confanoche have been very lazy. Yeah. It is possible for them each in their tenure 4 years, to have completed at least 1 floor each.
Difficult. Let me put it in this way, not to defend anybody, because you see, we are talking about the public purse.
Yes.
You see,
No, and it's not even money from their pockets of the pockets of government.
But
Yes.
I understand the point you make, but we cannot hold them giddy giddy.
No, but Kojo, I mean, you're a leader. You should be innovative.
I agree. Maybe they made efforts.
The wife of His Excellency Nana Danko Akufo-Addo, Auntie Rebecca,
Hey.
and the
You are bringing certain things with him.
No, Kojo, I'm
Again in construction.
No, Kojo,
When you go and see,
Kojo, I'm just making the point to say.
Yeah,
And then Sika, but she led a
but
certain
you
process.
see the level of a first lady in terms of attraction. Any chief executive of an institution in this country.
But you see,
what you must
you're
say?
on Kofua.
I'm not belittling the point you
You're
make.
on Kofua. The chief executive may have only had to contract them. Say, help us raise funds to complete 1 floor. If you say,
No, yeah, drink.
Atnasi, I can say, and it would be after chief executive.
Yeah. Mama can't say Mincho. Yeah, Mama can't say Mincho. And I won't mention names. The block now, a friend, President Kofo block. No. The monies that were raised, from the information I have, the monies that were raised, there was an intervention from the king of Ashanti, as I'm told,
Okay.
That there was an advice, as I'm told, to use some of the money, which was going to be enough to complete the maternity block.
No money.
What they said, I can only tell you when we are off.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yeah, me say.
But and then you know you bet me I can't.
Yeah, me say. Yeah, me say. Some of them down say down and you're fit for purpose in omboa. Tie. Oh, tie masem. Yen kofa resident.
What does anybody gain?
Yeah, to boss. Yen kofa resident engineer no emra. Yen kofa consultant na omo wo dan ho adwuma no enye den emra. Die na omo so kan. Now could to allow me to be
tell Omono, I'm sure that they will go with AESL's assessments.
And contractor for no. Woman your report to be
how do you know?
Messi woman
because
Jamaica. Woman yeah to buzz. Construction here. So make us make
little command. I am Jamaica.
There be your TV. Wouldn't say contract. Your repackaging for completion.
Okay.
Good. So when you it goes into repackaging now. And so can you and trust me. And sell us our contract. Brazilians. I say Ubi ya point to see you so quadrum. Also, Mumma internal audit report. And I bet show the health of a human away then.
The health of a human away.
Yes.
But even with that, you are at liberty to institute.
So what can we are? One second we are
a forensic audit of the.
So second we now you're convinced. So and I make a be my an opinion. Now me who say my back seen it.
It happens everywhere. As you said, doctor, resident, we are surgeon, resident admitted case amount for theater. Now say or everyone say appendicitis, in the book appendicectomy. Oba, you don't just go to the theater and start cutting. Also, one also examine yourself. Not that you don't trust or believe or rest.
Now he say,
want to be sure.
Yes. Dear Kona Bahon.
Yeah. Every indications for surgery, you know.
Anyhow. Yeah. I say me nana say. Baby, I see the other bedroom. Any the way mu eba be kan sisi ano. Me say, ye passe mu nukra. Ye ma ASF on amra say. Mo ye hwe unu say Ghana Institute of Engineers so
aye. Ye pitch contractor
Ghana Institute of Engineers ye no. Obo say. Structure defect no. Ye ya ebe ye yi.
It's almost a report.
Oh. Ye ya ebe ye. Oh me hunu.
Tie we. Akwa bi okoka so oni obedi adan ye busa nse. O se one that girl ni jira o. Oh.
One can view.
Obi ana o ye no.
Me say, Uti. Yeah. There be any bia.
Ozo.
Say Ghana Institute of Affairs saying engineers by sa test no. Almost sa structure the first no.
Sa report no. Won bi.
Mahumbi. And now second time obusa me ni me say mahunu.
Obusa first one.
Make me say Mr.
Yeah. Make us about.
Yeah, me say. AS for report. Ghana Institute of Engineers there. Yeah, wo American company be and come back computer my.
Okay.
Almost yeah, omo there.
Okay.
And a Chinese company be there. Obi any one or recommend.
Me me say kasa copy see.
Opa me wo. Na me case me go court.
O say.
Me no court.
Sir.
About Tuesday me filing junction. Yeah. Yeah, trouble be kwase okrom ha.
Me say we are Mami Sanka. Friend say.
Aso mo kan ya ento so mo bonkum ni fa.
All too soon, we have come to the end of today's program. It's a minute after 10. It's been Bresosem on the Busia 96.5. We have had Kojomafo in the studio. Nanaya was saying to me about PV Jantu Adasi and Dr. Samuel Jesifusu. The show was put together by Millicent Safodo. Make I take for say a free her by popular request last week. Program Nana JC Nana Sikape etna CD hu chame no eno ena ye san abebo ama motie. Now a couple of days ago
and Enrichi and the Vice Chancellor of Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, the vision to ensure that every needy student gets one laptop or KNUST. 593 laptops were distributed to 593 needy students. We say congratulations to Professor Mrs. Rita.
Ebesia FM 96.5.
Nipa ya dia was ayi they are no betum ni aka say corporate institutions ni individuals are mobetimi aboa ama yenya laptops ni ebi enso so aka ho. Nipa ne dose there were about 4,500 applicants. Emu 600 per 593 per eni enya bidi ama omo. Nti say ba ko say emienu say emiesa o de beba. KNUST will be happy to receive them. Yami bo adasene ye besan Asia. Bye bye.
Itro kakamio minro kakamio. Kakamia mpo kwa mwasi anansio.